Hey, what's up? It's Artie Lang on the Artie Quitter podcast. We might change the name. We've been making some business decisions. This is the end of a month, the first 4 weeks. This is the last show of the first 4 weeks of the Artie Quitter podcast. I'm thinking about going to the Artie Lang Uncensored podcast. Everything will get drawn to artiequitter.com anyway. The normal gang is here. Joe Matarese and, of course, Christopher Cotton back from his winter enclosure.
They bumped me over the head.
And I felt bad. We set a trap and bonked him over the head. But I wanted him out. I wrote a letter to a couple of lawyers and got him out of the winter enclosure.
All right, did you walk on 2 legs or 4 when you got here? Sorry.
We have to.
Is that even more
that
racist?
Was just me.
More racist. That's as racist as. That's the most racist thing I've ever heard.
Well, I'm just going off of the fan who said you were.
Well, I mean, you could explain it any way you want. But my God, that would make a Klan meeting shut. Even the Klan has admitted that blacks have walked on anything but all fours for a long time.
I just remember Jeff Ross was on one of those Emmett Smith roasts.
Here we go. Blame it on Jeff Ross.
And no, he does some joke about Shaq about his elbows being all scuffed up, or his knuckles being scuffed up.
Shaq has a great sense of humor. Shaq loves comedy. But I have to get this out there if this podcast is going to continue. I'm going to ask both of you guys this, but Joe has been a more recent victim. Joe, are you feeling any hostility from Dan Filato, the producer?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Are you feeling hostility?
He yells at me every time I come
Now,
here.
what do you think? Something just happened. I noticed that Joe was trying to ask about texting, had some questions about texting, and Dan, out of nowhere, like a sniper, said, listen, Joe, can we talk about your texting after the show, please?
He was right for saying that to me because we were about to record. I got it, so it didn't affect me.
Dan, are you going to be honest about your thoughts about Joe?
I love Joe personally.
Oh, no. I'm getting outed on this is... Okay.
No, I just think we have to get this out, and the most professional way to do it is on the air, of course.
Okay.
What do you think? Well, I mean, you said you feel hostility from Dan. He's the producer of the show, and you're a regular on the show. And me, as the guy who has all the money invested, I want a smooth show, but I feel this has to get out there.
Okay. So what do you want to know?
Well, what has he done to make you feel like he's hostile towards you?
Oh.
Just that. Just what I'm saying.
Oh, you haven't noticed
a lot
anything
of
else?
those things.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
well,
a lot of those
them.
things.
Well,
but I always think he's kidding because he laughs.
No, he's not kidding.
He's like really mad at me.
I don't think
I
don't think he likes you personally either.
Really?
Dan?
Your thoughts today?
Oh, I like his wife.
He likes.
And his kid is wonderful.
I felt like he liked me.
Dan feels you text him too much.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He's an over-texter.
I can stop doing that.
You got weird beefs.
I don't want you to stop doing anything.
I don't understand how. Okay, I'm going to get it out right now. I don't understand how.
You get mad easily.
when
don't
we're
you?
just
You're
at
an easy
certain
to get mad
stupid
guy.
things because Punxsutawney Tom, who's in fixing Joe's little world, emailed and said, "Listen, you've got a couple of things you got to fix on the podcast."
Oh my God!
But I'm just relaying them to you. I'm not saying you need to
relay 'em
address
me
them. I
in
just
front
let
of
you
Artie.
know.
Just call me some other time.
You don't want me to text you just said. I text you these things.
Call me. I don't want to hear the
So you'd
beep,
rather
beep
have
of the
phone
every
calls.
10 minutes.
So you'd rather have phone calls.
Here's Dan talking to a dog.
Dan is the de Blasio.
So
of
Dan's
communication.
one of these guys I think likes animals more than people.
Okay.
Are you one of those guys, Dan?
I might be.
So I never heard you talk to Joe. Hey, Joe, who's Joe, little Joe? Joe's texting. Who's texting? Oh, my God, I love texting.
Funny comic Tim Young has a bit about that, how people come up to your dog and do exactly what he does and then look at you and go, what the fuck are you looking at?
Exactly. There's a lot of people like that who like animals. And I feel sorry for those people because listen, I hate to break it to you. Animals like you, especially if they're your animal, because you're feeding them. Yeah. Anybody who gives them a fucking hunk of meat, they're going to love. And it's that unconditional love that is absent.
Hold on, so is the air
Christopher,
clear?
now Chris
clear?
Cotner.
So
I don't know.
if I stop texting you, are we all right again? I mean, I feel like we were fine up until the
We're fine,
podcast
Joe.
started.
part of me thinks it's unfixable.
See, now he wheels back, so I don't know.
Think
He's
it's
one of those-
unfixable?
Part of me thinks it's unfixable.
Is it?
It's unmendable.
Do you think it's unfixable?
Unfixable Joe.
Because I can easily stop doing that.
That's your new
See, but I
podcast.
want you to do it.
You want me to annoy him?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I don't want to lose my position here.
not
at the
gonna lose
podcast.
You're not going to lose your
You're not going to lose your
Oh,
position.
all right. Then I'll fucking brawl with him then if you want. I mean,
Fuck it, Joe.
No, I just, Joe, do you feel, my argument to Dan is, I've known Joe a long time, but he's neurotic like I'm neurotic. He's oversensitive about stuff. I see stuff on the, again, you could see 50 million positive tweets or whatever the fuck you want to call them these days. The fact that that's words even in my goddamn vocabulary, I hate, but it is, because it has to be. But the one negative one, comics are going to concentrate on.
Yeah.
And, you might bring it up. And I said, Joe's just being a neurotic comic. That's how you have to deal with comedians.
I had Cavaricci pants and jeans.
What do you think about it?
I want Dan to know that I know that I'm this.
You're self-aware.
I'm self-aware, yes, and I know what I've done. He's not the first guy that I've made feel like how he feels. My old managers used to get like
Is
this.
this talking about sexual tension or regular tension?
No, I'm a little over controlling and neurotic. I know these are going to be. I hear that you're making clips
he's
out of
just
these
sniping
as I
you, and
talk.
I'm helping him
I
out.
feel it. It makes me think
Is
I
the
could be on
medication
SNL.
is the medication not working then fully?
No, the medication's helping because I'm not mad that he's saying this. The
old Joe would be angry.
Yes, I understand that I'm this way, but I want him to know, and I want everybody to know here. He's recording me now that
tagging him.
I do it out of. I'm trying to be helpful. In my
I
head,
understand.
I'm going, this guy who wrote this on my Facebook said this. Here, you take this for what you want, and you want to address it or not address it.
But
I don't think that he's right.
Here's
I'm
the
just
thing.
letting
From
you
Dan's
know.
point of view,
I'm trying to be helpful.
I understand that, but from Dan's point of view, I understand his situation too, because he's got a million things to deal with, and then he hears, you quoting a guy from bumfuck Iowa about some technical thing, and he's like, "What do you want me to do? I don't know what to do about that." And anybody from Freddie to Cordova on would not know what to do about it.
Right.
But in your mind, defending you, what I said, Dan, you have to understand the comedian's mind. It's that's what it is. That we were like that. But I think there's a happy compromise we can reach.
So what's your uniform?
Okay, can I?
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, speak.
Let me ask your opinion about something that would happen like this. And I have to use an analogy about the same status in show business. Let me ask you this, Artie. If you were driving somewhere, if you were driving to the 40th anniversary of Saturday Night Live
Right.
for 2 hours with Bill Murray,
Yeah.
would you bring up his DUI or his divorces right before he's about to go on camera for those large...
Can you explain to me how this relates?
I don't
Because
understand
a month ago,
It makes me think
when
I
we were
could be on SNL.
A month ago, when we were in the car with the dwarf driving, who's got us lost again, for an hour, Joe talked about the lowest points of your life.
I did?
Before a show that was sold out, so you were trying to get into your show head, and he's sitting from the backseat talking about suicide and what were the lowest points of your life. I wanted to open the door and push him out around somewhere in Connecticut.
I don't remember
I
doing
got
this
so
at all.
mad
I don't
I couldn't
remember
take
either.
it.
No.
I couldn't take it anymore.
I don't know, but I don't think that's
But I don't remember.
off
You know what, Dan? It must not have been a big deal because I don't remember what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Because we got so frustrated by the time that we were in that hour traffic jam with Timmy that you totally forgot about Joe. But I just thought,
Look how
why would
worked
you bring
up
that
he
up?
is right
Because
now.
why would you
Very
bring that
angry.
up?
Because he hates Timmy too.
I don't remember bringing this up.
Yeah, I talk about low shit. Oh, like it's weird. You get
Oh, we'll
low.
get to you. I hate you in a minute.
Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, I'll wait. I was waiting.
Well,
my turn.
it's simple.
But but yeah, I think the low stuff doesn't bother you before you perform.
No, well, what exactly? What was he saying? Dan?
He kept on bringing up, like, when you were talking to
But
him
wait, here's
about-
what's the problem with the analogy you just made. You're likening a gig in Boston to the 40th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. You're likening me to Bill Murray, and
this is 4 hours before. This is like it took us 7 hours to drive there.
I don't. Do you remember what you were saying?
No, I don't think. I'm always uncomfortable even bringing up the suicide thing. I don't even know.
That's not.
I can't imagine that I brought it up in the car.
You did that thing where I've certainly done it, where Timmy's certainly done it. You did that thing where you bury your head into the car, the side window, to just give some type of indication. Stop talking to me. Just stop talking to me.
You misinterpreted.
You did that?
He thinks I did it.
Oh.
You're misinterpreting that, Dan. I know. I didn't.
I know that Mick was doing a movie. You want to talk about it after? That's fine. Not a big show.
Dude, I 100% agree with you, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Where
that's a clip.
Joe did
one of the Munchkins got
Jesus Christ.
One of the Munchkins didn't bother to check how the traffic was once again.
Who do you hate more, Joe or Tim or Chris?
Timmy, absolutely.
Okay.
Because Joe can at least admit it. Timmy, who just texted
Joe's
me
not
back.
admitting it.
I'll admit it if I did it. I just don't remember doing it. I guess I did, if you're saying I did.
In defense of Joe, I
didn't mean it.
I mean, it must not have been that big a deal because I don't remember that.
I used to tell people I'm an accidental idiot or I'm an accidental asshole. Like, I really don't realize I'm doing that sometimes.
Well, what about...
But admit this, Joe. I have told you privately that you, of all of Artie's friends, you were one of my favorites. And I would say, why don't you ever call us about the DirecTV show?
What do you mean?
You would always. I said, Joe, we always want you on rather than Bob Levy.
I'm such an idiot.
Now you hate Levy too, right?
Oh, way more than Joe. Way. It's not. Joe's not even in the same.
Oh, okay.
Who do you like?
Russman Eve.
He likes Russ Medina.
Well, Russ is cute.
I even when you weren't there, Artie, I contacted
David Tell.
I contacted
Russ
Dan and
Medina.
I said, "Why don't you come over? We're gonna watch some games at Russ's house. Where are you?" Like I called him and invited him to something.
What are you doing over there, Melania? You look creepy.
Joe, I like you. I really do.
Well, I don't know about that.
I do.
The last 5 minutes was crazy.
I'm not texting him. Look, I've learned I don't eat your sandwiches anymore, and I'm not texting him.
There's gonna be so much spoiled food in there because
The sandwiches was truly a busted balls.
Yeah, come on.
Well, he got mad because I was texting him saying, "Can I Skype in during the snowstorm?"
No, well, that's
now
stupid.
this is what I was trying.
That's a dumb suggestion.
But here's
we're not on television.
But this is what I wanted to explain that I was afraid. It's like Dan's probably not explaining this the way I would explain it. That's why I kept texting.
All he had to say
him.
was Skype, and that's I'm out.
No, well, this is the reason. I'm only saying Skype because I hook Skype.
the audio.
I can hook my professional microphone into my Skype.
So it sounds better.
It sounds
It's
like
not
I'm
about
in studio.
Right, but we don't need if you're not here, we don't need you here.
Okay, that's fine.
No, but I'm saying.
But I wasn't trying to be Skype. I didn't mean like I'm gonna fuck it.
Do you feel Dan is an angry person in general, Joe?
Oh, I feel like it's a comedic. Like he doesn't even mean it because he
No.
gets really angry, then he pulls back.
You
got to
hear him yell at the TV. My God.
No, but he's like genuinely not an angry person underneath it all.
Oh, no, I disagree.
Really?
No, I disagree totally.
You think he has an anger problem?
I think Dan is a more creative guy, and he gets credit for it. Like a lot of creative people, he's very angry. I mean, I'm a very angry guy, but I mean, Dan is very vocal about it. I mean, screaming at women on television, like, "You fucking cunt! You're a cunt! Go bankrupt another company!" He knows. He's very knowledgeable. He's very well read, so he knows about a lot of politics. So a woman from the House of Representatives who used to be, I guess, a chief financial officer. I guess a lot of these people get jobs as after CFOs. They become a senator or whatever. He'll see one that I've never heard of from Idaho, and he'll just know because he reads so much. And we'll be, it'll be 10 o'clock at night. I'm trying to eat sushi or something. He goes, "I'll go bankrupt another fucking company, whore. You bankrupted 3 companies, and then you rolled over into the House of Representatives. Go fuck yourself."
I think he's toning it down. I really do.
And you should see like when a printer isn't working properly.
Oh, motherfucker!
I at the TV show, I saw him kick that printer so hard, so many
Yeah,
times. I thought he was
kick
going
it.
to break his foot. Oh,
He goes, "Ooh." He
yeah,
starts
exactly.
screaming, "Ooh, you motherfucker!"
it's a tremor. Anger tremors come through him.
Does a printer work after you kick it? It's just shot printer,
So that's
right?
so he screams like, "Go bankrupt another company, cunt!" And then he sees a dog, and this is what you get.
Oh my goodness. You crazy. I got you. Where's Art?
Let me ask you, can I ask you one question?
Go ahead, man.
Do you think the starter in all this are short midget guys with no talent that have way too much power, like with Timmy and with the guy we had at DirecTV?
The what are? The what are?
Again, Dan, you're
What's he
making
saying?
That's what I mean. That's another thing Dan does. He makes inside references that no one knows.
I got the
about.
Timmy part. Who was the first one you said?
He's talking about another guy that he hated at DirecTV.
And what did you call him? The what?
Short guy with no talent, midget. That's, again, I don't know if we want to publicly say anything bad about the DirecTV days. It might be legal, but Dan has. Would you say of the people you know, Dan, you hate overwhelmingly more than you like?
No.
I would.
No.
I would.
No way.
I'm terrified.
I think he secretly doesn't like me, and that'll come out.
in the book.
Motherfucker.
In the tell-all.
He got my fucking career. I was supposed to be doing this for Steve Dahl. I was doing that shit he did on Stern years ago.
Are you happy with your career? Are you happy with your life?
Well, he should be. He's been involved with nothing until this.
Someone said
nothing but successes.
Someone said I should have him on Fixing
slide.
Joe and do some
I
shrink
think
session
so.
with him.
I mean,
I would
listen,
love to be on Fixing Joe.
all of us.
We should do one.
All of us are. Well, we're doing it kind of right here.
Yeah, let's do it here.
Poaching my producer now.
Where's all your anger come from?
Why don't you do it and I'll Skype in? Now we'll get to Christopher Cott.
Jesus Christ.
It might be racial, I don't know, but Dan claims to be a liberal. He's one of these Chicago liberals who hates blacks and gays. Christopher, sometimes, the other day I noticed this, I don't know if Chris did, you were in Dan's way and you weren't getting out of the chair quick enough and Dan went, up.
You didn't pay me to fight. You paid me to walk.
Did you notice that, Chris?
I ignore most of that shit. I don't know.
So good. So you're a pleasant guy. Do you ignore it, or you feel like so many people do it to you? It's the norm.
I feel like I'm always in the way, so I just try to stay the fuck out the way.
But that's what he says.
Yeah. I don't know.
Slide.
So Dan, are you beefing with? Because you don't like Joe. I love Joe. I think Joe's fucking
Well,
great.
but Dan
So I'm
backtracks
terrified
says he
now.
likes Joe. Based on the first 20 minutes here of the show, do you think
From
Dan
what I've
likes it?
observed, I think
He hates Timmy. He hates Bob Levy.
That's definite. I think he likes the thought of liking Joe. I think that's a good way to put it. He really wants to, and he likes.
Well, you got to
the thought of
understand.
liking
There's
Joe.
a reason why Joe and I work together quite a bit. Now, if Joe, was the one that was, doing the hiring in this situation, I don't know if he'd feel the same way about me, but I happen to think Joe is unbelievably talented, funny, and one of the few guys that, a lot of comedians can be pains in the ass. One of the few guys I love hanging out with, and he's a home run to work with on the road.
I always tell comics that are starting out, like you got to be fucking insanely good to be a fucking annoying prick and do well in this business.
Yeah, you're right. And a lot of people, I guess, are talented enough to where they don't even meet these executives halfway as far as kissing their ass or fake laughing.
Right.
The fake laugh thing.
And like Adam Sandler, I mean, the guy puts in all his friends. Same with Kevin James. They put all their fucking friends. It's fun. If you can have a job and get paid and hang out with your friends.
You're not. I don't work with you because you're my friend. We are friends.
Right.
I work with you because you're good.
Right.
And
but there's lots of good people, but there's good people that aren't
Nick
your friends.
DiPaolo's a great example. Nick is, a guy who can't help but telling the truth. He can't help but telling it like it is. And that's considered weird by some executives who are just such pussies. They can't deal with the truth. But Nick has made a living in nothing but comedy because he's that fucking talented. Mm-hmm. He's that good. Nick has his opinions and they're strong. Chris Rock, one of the first phone calls he makes when he's doing the Oscars to write is Nick DiPaolo. Because you know what? It's like that old joke with Woody Allen and Annie Hall. I need the eggs. You need the jokes, man. I mean, he's that good. And that's why I work with Joe. But Chris, so you don't feel any of the hostility from Dan?
I don't. Well, I mean, there's moments where I might send an email. I don't get anything. I'm weird with that, though. If I send something out, I want to hear like shit back fast from anything. That's just how I am. But so other than that, I don't feel any. I don't think Dan had. Do you have a problem with me, Dan? I don't know.
No.
Whatever.
How about James? How
He
is
likes
with
James
He
a lot.
likes
I know he
James.
likes James. Now, Dan's a very caring person.
What about the sandwiches?
Dan technically saved my life these last few months. He did nurse me back to health. Of course, that's because he's making about $18 an hour on the podcast. But no, and I love him like a relative. Dan, he's become close with my family. But
Can I ask you a question?
He has anger issues. I feel I think might hurt him health-wise down the road,
Oh, that's way far gone already. Don't even think about it.
Well, all right. I mean, I don't want you to have a heart attack.
What's your health issues?
No, I just if I'm gonna go from anger, that should have happened when I was 21.
Oh.
Well, no, but as you get older,
There were times I wanted to beat Steve Dahl to the head with a baseball bat. I mean, I really.
he has Steve Dahl stories. The famous DJ from the Midwest they make my stories. You ever heard of Dahl?
No.
He was like the Howard of the Midwest.
Oh, okay.
Very successful, but because of some publicized abuse problems, with booze or whatever. That's kind of public, right, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah. He didn't become what he could have become, but Dan has some stories that make mine look like a little league team's problems. But Dan put up with it as the producer of that show, kept it together. Listen, all right, I just wanted to get it out there.
I don't know. As time goes on, you'll probably grow to annoy. I'll probably start annoying people. I get weird. I get angry.
My point is, you started already.
All right.
Here's a question:
anger problems.
if Artie was doing something annoying, or you think ultimately bad for him, would you say something?
No, he's brought stuff up to me.
Oh, he has?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's been dead honest with me on several subjects.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you need that. You need that. But I think he does care about me. I don't know what. Again, the Tim. Do you feel Tim is more stupid or more nefarious?
No, I just don't.
What is your issue with Tim, that he's evil or dumb?
Oh, not evil. Timmy's not evil.
Okay.
I just think he doesn't care. He doesn't care enough to do certain things. Like you asked me for something before the show
Right.
that he had, and now he says, "I don't know where it's at. I don't think it's in my phone anymore."
Oh, that would be Thurman Munson's son's number.
Yes. And we were in the dressing room.
Yeah, well,
and
he
when
should
I
have the
went to
number.
get the Thurman Munson's number, Tim grabbed me. He says, "Don't you trust me? I have it. I got it."
Yeah.
So I know I should have gotten it.
And then he didn't.
Dan also loves ratting on
should've
Tim.
got
I can't believe.
By the way, something else you didn't do.
I would have said in that situation, I would have act like I wasn't going to get it, then I would have double backed and got it just to cover my base. I don't.
Well,
give a
I
fuck.
mean, listen. That was of all the people. You'd think you'd want me to have the number for and save. Thurman Munson's son is going to be in town next week for a charity dinner that he always has with his mom, who's a lovely woman, the whole family. And I'd like to interview them because I've become close with them or friendly with them. And the last gig I had in Cleveland, they all live out in Ohio. Thurman's son, Michael, came to my show with one of his friends, and Timmy had to have his number because Timmy arranged him coming backstage and everything. And he saves some asshole's number at a shitty gig in Poughkeepsie that I never want to talk to. By the way, I've got Artie's bloated liver from the internet, from Twitter. Artie's big, enormous, bloated, sick liver. I've got his number if you need it. But Thurman Munson's son, Michael, he doesn't fucking have that. Is that true, Dan? He doesn't have the number?
He doesn't have the number.
How do you fucking not have the
Thank you.
See, that would make me angry. I would cuss at him in the car. I would fucking cuss at him for like an hour.
I know you would.
But it doesn't work. So,
But you still
'Cause
got to
Dan's
do it.
tried.
You got to get it out.
Right.
You got to get that out while it's
and
fresh
even
and
if
new.
the simplest things, like if we're already saying we're leaving to drive to Philadelphia here at 1:00, and he gets here at 1:45, 2, sometimes says, "I'll meet you in Philadelphia." Then we can't get into the rooms. I mean, it's the simplest stuff.
Dan, who do you hate more, Levy or Tim?
Ooh. That's a tough one. Levy.
Really?
What is your beef with Levy?
Yeah, what does Levy do?
Because he lies to everyone's face. And I like him. And I think
I like him.
What kind of backtrack is that? You hate him worse than
detest him.
Dude, you just badmouthed Timmy like with the most passion I've ever heard. You said you hate Levy more. You said he lies to everyone right to their face, and then you go, "I like him."
I don't.
I'm sorry, you can't have it both ways, dude.
He'll say Artie will say he'll come up to Artie and say, "Hey, can this guy intro me and tell a few jokes?" And Artie will say no, and then we walk away from Bob Levy, and he'll tell Timmy, listen, this guy, Bob promised this guy, somehow he won some contest or he paid off Bob or he's going to do, or at this point.
He didn't pay off Bob. Bob's not money. He's never ripped me off money-wise ever, Bob.
He's going to sell Bob's merchandise after the show.
No.
And he will go around, and I happen to be standing right next to the guy where he said to this guy, listen, you're going to go on, do my intro, do a few jokes, and then I'll come on. After Artie just told him 5 minutes earlier.
Okay, well, I got a couple of comedians here, and Bob's one of those comics. There's a lot of guys like this who don't want to go up cold. They want someone to take the initial hit.
Well, no one does.
And but the bottom line is, if I specifically asked you, please, can you go up there?
Oh yeah, I've done it a million times.
Yeah, and you do. You take the bullet. Chris would.
Carnegie
but
Hall.
Bob at Carnegie Hall. Well, proof that you're a pro.
Watching me bomb.
You did not.
I didn't bomb, but I called a guy a cunt.
You had to settle
with
the
my
crowd.
parents in the
You
audience.
got to settle the crowd down. Now, do you? All right. Do you think this will affect the work atmosphere now that you know Dan's true feelings towards you?
No, I feel like he's good.
That's great.
I
think
can
it
read.
opens up
I
the
can.
door
I
more.
feel like one thing I'm very good at is reading people.
Dan feels you're not good at that.
You can't read.
I can understand.
He's the worst at reading people.
I can understand that he doesn't want someone, going, this is what, here's an idea, and if it's something he's a master at.
No, it's look, I'm not claiming I'm a master at anything. I always need criticism. I'd rather have criticism from you than Artie's blow to liver on Twitter. I see those comments too, and they get to you. I wish they didn't get to you, but they fucking
They get to you. The trolling works
They don't
on you.
get to
Some
me.
of them.
I don't feel shit.
Some of them it does.
The slow Matarese, I think, is the
Slow
funniest thing
Matarese
I've
is
ever seen in
fucking
my
hilarious,
life.
dude.
Guy loves me now.
I love slow battery.
Tan Filato, by the way, let's
Good
look at
friend
it.
of mine. Good friend.
Yesterday, well, he did something kind of funny. This is a weird thing. Yesterday on the show, after we played Dan's doggy video, I sang a tribute to Dan. And any overweight homosexual out there, a little song I put together called Fat Fig, and listen to that, and then I'll tell you what Tan Filato did after. This is me singing Fat Fig yesterday. I'm a fat fig. I like dudes and greasy foods. I'm a fat fig. I like swallowing jizz and cheese whiz. I'm a fat fig. I like French fries and hairy guys. I'm a fat fig. Mayonnaise and parades for gays. I'm a fat fig. I want a cheese wheel and guys who squeal. I'm a fat fig. I need bromo and another homo. I'm a fat fig. I like bagels and locks and black cocks. I'm a fat fig. I like Nestle's quick and second dick. I'm a fat pig. I like salty nuts and fucking butts. I'm a fat pig. I like extra mayo and Scott Baio. I'm a fat pig. I'll swallow every crumb and all your cum. I'm a fat pig. I like Famous Amos and Greg Louganis. I'm a fat pig. I'm a fat pig. I like extra white dough and super hairy Rob Lowe. I'm a fat pig. I'm a fat fig, and let me end this by saying this. I'm a fat fig. I love Richard Simmons' Pits. I'm a fat fig. I like a Shellfish Tower and Eddie Bauer. I'm a fat fig.
I take bubble bath.
Thanks for adding that in, Dan.
I didn't know Eddie Bauer was gay. I
I didn't know that either. All right. All right, so we did that. So Tan Filato, a fan of the show, did a Fat Fig remix and put it on Twitter. Everyone's on Twitter, man. It's a new world.
I love it.
Let's hear that.
Oh, it's a good beat.
I'm a fat pig. You're born gay. I'm a fat pig. I like bagels and locks and black cocks.
At Kind 215.
I want a cheese wheel and guys who squeal.
At the Joe Matarese.
I'm a fat pig. Easy there, Dan Filato. Pig. Pig. Easy there, Dan Filato. I'm not butt fucking as much these days. Pig. I'm a fat pig.
At the Joe Matarese.
Fucking butts.
At Kind 215.
I like Famous Amos and Greg Louganis. Easy there, Dan Filato. You're born gay.
At Kind 215.
Pig. I like Famous Amos and Greg Louganis. Pig. Easy there, Dan Filato. You're born gay. I like French fries and hairy guys. Pig. I'm a fat pig. And let me end this by saying this. I love Richard Simmons' Pits. Pig. Pig. You're born gay. Pig. Pig. Easy there, Dan Filato. I'm a fat fig.
All right. That was a great
All right,
beat.
Dan
That's a hit.
Filato.
That's a hit.
He used Drake's beat. That's
The
a good
call.
one.
I don't know what it was. It was a beat though.
You
Great.
recognize the
Oh yeah,
beat?
I know the whole. I was singing the whole song in my head.
that's a
while I was-
Oh wait, so it's a famous song.
Yeah, it's a great
202, but we love your tweets and your input, your voicemails, of
that's
course.
funny.
202-780-7848 is the caller, the voicemail number, 202-780-7848. Okay.
Or tweet at Cotton215.
I got you one fine. All right, that's show news. So some show news there. Hopefully this will all work out. And Levy and I got a feeling we have not heard the end of the.
Oh,
the
you started a war.
Yeah,
Oh, this is gonna be
the
fun.
Levy Filato war. Levy will be on these airwaves doing a show.
Doing all original
So,
material.
Yeah, and so fixing Joe. As long as my lawyer says yes. My lawyer's all worried that he's going to say something gets me sued. So we have
What
to.
could get you sued?
I guess if, he says someone's gay who's not gay. If he says winter enclosure. couple of let's talk some news. Of course, we haven't got to the NFL. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The creepiest story ever is the Bruce Jenner thing, man. Mm-hmm. Can we all agree on that? That is just. Look, he looks like Valerie Bertinelli. He really looks grotesque, and now we're finding out that he's doing this as part of a reality show for E. And what is it, Dan? A 12-episode deal?
Yes.
12 episodes. 12-episode deal to become a woman, to have a sex change operation. Now, could this family be bigger weirdos or whores?
Is anything not for sale?
That's what I'm saying. They're just, let's just say it like it is. They're just weirdos, man.
And that's the rumor that that's what he's gonna do.
Oh, that's
He's
the
gonna
rumor.
announce,
Well,
yes.
it was in the,
it's
it
a
was in
rumor.
Well, it was in the paper. It was in
Right.
both tabloids today as pretty definite. Matter of fact, he made the cover of either the Post or the
Let me
News.
see the picture.
Well, that's a bad one.
Does he have tits?
That's Chelsea Handler.
That's him.
Well, he's getting tits. Wait, let me see. There might be a better one.
He's getting tits.
Yeah.
But he's still married to
think
her,
he's
right?
No, right? Didn't they get a divorce?
They're right in the middle of it.
They're in the middle of it.
By the way, Dan exclaimed to me that I stopped following People Magazine on Twitter.
That might be the biggest switch in the history. To go
that's
from
weird.
the box of Wheaties to a full-blown woman.
So what are you saying? A gay man being on a box of Wheaties is impossible for you to accept.
You think he's going to get back on Wheaties?
I think he's going to back on Freakies. It's just very odd. He looks odd. He looks weird. Let's go. Christopher Cotton, as a black man, I know
wouldn't fuck him.
in your community this is a shun thing.
That's not the question.
Is this the one piece of white pussy you turned down?
He's
Your
definitely
thoughts on
unfuckable. He's definitely unfuckable.
if I had to choose, I would aside, your thoughts.
Real talk. If I had to choose between now male Chaz Bono and later
Chaz
on
Bono?
and later on female Kris Jenner, I'm taking Chaz Bono every time.
So you're still joking around. I want you to know how.
You think I'm joking? If I had to choose,
I know. Okay, but
it's
fine.
Chaz.
Just tell me. All right, I'm not going to really answer that question.
What's the question?
What does this really make you feel when you see this?
I don't give a fuck about him. I never like this mother. Fuck Kris Jenner.
Joe?
He got two. Chloe
I feel the same
Kim,
as Chris.
yeah.
One of the reasons I used to
How does
hate
Chris feel? I don't know.
is we don't care.
I don't give a fuck
It's
about
like
it.
when I used to go on
you're a
Chelsea
comedian. Give
Handler.
me
It's
your
like I
thought.
don't care. But yeah, that's where it gets hard to give thoughts on something that doesn't give me a strong
If you told me Kim was getting something, like if Kim changed her body again and it got worse, I would get angry. But him,
Now, that's going to happen. Let her get older.
Now,
the plastic surgery she's going to go through.
I have questions more than anger.
That's what I want to know.
Okay, I have questions.
That's what I want to
One is, are they getting divorced because of this? Is he like?
They were
does-
getting a divorce. I think
does
she
he like
was-
men? Is he
It sounds
gay?
like she was cheating.
Okay.
With her black trainer. Her black trainer. They were getting a divorce first.
Right.
I believe. And part of the reason might be that he wants to be a woman.
And that's a good question. Is he gay or does he just want to be a
I
woman?
don't know. He might be. He's fathered a couple of hot. His two daughters with her are really smoking.
Yeah, they're great.
That Kendall Jenner is hot. But do you think he lived with those maniacs? Drove Lamar, whatever his name was. What was Lamar?
crack?
Yeah,
Lamar Odom.
It drove him to smoke crack.
Well, I think he did that. That was a decision that he.
When I
kinda
made Bruce Jenner a broad.
Yeah.
It really, and this is just an honest reaction, and I don't think this is homophobia. I don't think this is whatever transgender phobia. I'm sure they'll make up a fucking word. It just is creepy to me.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
It's creepy
It
as
gives me
shit.
chills to see pictures of him.
He's like the dude with the burned face on the train. It's like I don't.
Yes, see,
feel
that's
bad,
good-
but he's fucking your
But
face
he
is
does
burned.
sort of look like a burn face.
He looks
Burn
like
face
Michael Jackson.
motherfucker.
Really.
Yes.
Towards the end of Michael Jackson.
He does look like Michael Jackson. Well, where's the New York Post, Dan? Did I throw it out? Where is that?
I mean, if his face was on it, you should have threw it out. It's fucking
No,
terrifying.
but it's a way better picture.
it's like Darkman.
But I'm so into psychology and shit. I sit there and go, well, what happened to this guy with his
mentally
life?
he's fucked, dude.
What happened
Yeah.
to him?
Kris Jenner.
That's weird to just. I feel bad for people like that. If you grow up and you always feel like you want to be something else, that's
Do you feel sorry for him?
a little bit.
It took him a long time though to want to be something else.
I mean, he always wanted to be, but he just, I guess, didn't have the freedom to feel like he can do it. Like he didn't
That's
feel like
for
he
sure.
can.
Why does it happen so late in his life?
Most people, it's weird. People put a lot of stigma on how you have sex. I don't think that's important. I don't like the fact that people have to come out of the closet. I feel bad for that. I feel bad at that concept of saying, "Well, this is how I have sex." Like,
I feel bad for guys who have to stay in the closet.
Yeah, I feel bad for both aspects. The fact that you shouldn't be a closet. You
It's
should be able to do
horrible.
what you want to do.
I feel terrible for. I mean, again, we think we've come a long way as a society, but there's still people in this country, the big country, and the small towns of Nebraska and outside of Salt Lake City. Fuck in Salt Lake City, they do not accept this at all, and those people either have to leave town or be in the closet their whole lives, and that does suck.
I mean,
I feel bad for them.
I mean, I'm not a big fucking. I'm not like going to go out and protest, but I just feel bad for people not being able to be free and do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. So you're pro freedom.
I'm more pro human being. Do what the fuck you want to do. I don't really care directly about anything. It's just,
Now, why is there a Dan Hampton thing in my pile?
Because we're having him on
When?
today.
I didn't know that.
all good information.
Dan, you have to tell me this out loud. I don't know we're having Dan Hampton on.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned the audio thing before.
Yeah, well, why'd you get mad at it,
There was
Dan?
a
Why did you get
miscommunication.
mad at James for bringing up Dan Hampton? Now I know why he brought him up.
But see, it all comes full circle with the anger. I just want to.
Why would you get mad at him for bringing up a guest we're having on?
That was not a play. I said, can we get a great play that he was in, maybe from the Super
Oh, I have some of that.
No. Dan, but at that point, I didn't know he was even coming on the show. Like, we're 37 minutes into the show.
When I put Dan Hampton 220 the time, or in John
No,
Novello
Dan,
150.
you have to
look at
point
that.
this out to me. You just put a pile in front of me. I hear you told me out loud John Novello was coming. That's how I knew.
Look who it is! Okay? I told you both.
No, you didn't
Maybe
tell
I
me
heard-
Dan Hampton. You didn't tell me about Dan Hampton. So, but it's fine. So, by the way, Dan Hampton. Dan Hampton is a guy who used to play for the Chicago Bears,
Hall of Famer.
a Hall of Famer, and he's going to talk.
Super Bowl.
I know what he'll talk about. He's going to talk about NBC's Thursday night lineup.
Ooh, a good Oh, did you see the tweet about the prop bet of? Oh, you put it out the Katy Perry prop.
Yeah,
bet.
I did that. Yeah.
Oh, that was great. And now they said,
what are the odds on Will Katy Perry's first song?
well, most people, I said, I disagree. If she does fireworks, it's a home run automatically.
What's fireworks?
Baby, you're a fire. That shit,
No
fucking
idea.
pull it up.
No
it's a great
idea.
song. I
Never
don't want to
heard
sing
of
it. I
the
can't
song.
do it
Thank you.
justice.
I love that
My
song.
daughter
It's a
loves
fucking great
Katy
song.
Perry.
Of course,
Fireworks.
Dan loves the song.
Katie, I mean, and somebody brought
Do you
up.
really love that song, Dan?
I mean, it's a good song too. I don't even. But go ahead. You got it ready? Listen to this. We only can play short pieces of it.
And done. And done.
Go right into the dog thing.
Good song, man. Oh yeah. Dude. Start building it up, and then it just hits you. I don't even like this bitch.
That's the other one. That's the last one. That's brood.
You crazy,
That's the other one. That's the last one. That's rude.
Holy shit, shut that off.
Oh no, you got to get to the hook. That's the key. The key is the
No, I've had the hook.
You got to get it.
I'm giving her the fucking hook right now.
Pump the hook. Fuck that.
Please shut it.
You better never have kids, Artie, because this is all you have on in your car
Thank you,
all
Joe.
the time.
You're right, no kidding, because kids got kids, Dan. I'm not a 52-year-old male.
It was only a year. It was only a year. The #1 song in the country 2 years ago.
Yeah, but Dan, that
mean
could
you have
mean
to
it
like-
sucks. Yeah.
Look,
That
man,
means it's bad.
I hated that shit for 6 months. Then it just hit me. I was like, this is
That's
good.
right.
Good.
Joe makes a good point. That's the best argument for it sucking. It's the #1 song in this country.
Of the pack.
I got you know what my son actually my son actually said to me, and this hurt me, and I had to go buy tickets to Rush as soon as he said this. He goes, Dad, I don't think I like rock and roll anymore. I went, we're going to see Rush June 29th. I'm buying tickets. I'm taking
Let him
him to
hang
see
out with
Rush.
Uncle Dan Filato.
My dad,
Uncle Tan Filato.
I told my dad I was like, funk is all right. He made me go see War and Mandrill. And I was like, this shit is dope. I loved it after that. I was fucking big fan.
Play the Tan Filato remix again. That's better than this Katy Perry song. I'm a fat pig. You're born gay. I'm a fat pig. I like bagels and lox and black cocks.
Bad Kind 215.
I want a cheese wheel and guys who squeal.
At the Joe Matarese.
I'm a fat pig. Easy there, Dan Filato. Pig. Pig. Easy there, Dan. Very odd. I'm not butt fucking as much these days. Yeah. I'm a fat pig.
At the Joe Matarese.
Fucking butts.
Bad Kind 215.
Amos and Greg Louganis. Easy there, Dan Filato. You're born gay.
Bad Kind 215.
Pig. I like famous Amos and Greg Louganis. Pig. Easy there, Dan Filato. You're born gay. I like French fries and hairy guys. Pig. I'm a fat pig. And let me end this by saying this. I love Richard Simmons piss. Pig. Pig. You're born gay. Pig. Pig. Easy there, Dan Filato. I'm a fat fig. Listen, so anyway, I think that should be #1 over Katy Perry's Fireworks.
I think Chris, you know those you said you like to find these obscure black clubs in towns and like go and check out the DJs and shit. You should slip that in. I would love to see like a whole room full of people.
The
All
beat,
of a
they're like,
sudden,
oh
that comes
shit.
on.
They motto come. Oh no, this ain't
What's
right.
this?
It's just
Shit,
about the
right.
beat. It's proof you can put anything over it.
No, it matters a little bit what they say. But all right, the prop bet changed from is it Katy Perry's fucking song is going to be great, and then it changed to what's better, Katy Perry doing Fireworks or Taylor Swift doing Shake It Off.
All right, we've already talked. We talked
listen.
about this way too long.
And it was a pick'em. It is tight.
It's a
What,
pickle.
Dan? When is Dan Hampton coming out? First or second segment? What's the countdown?
He's coming on after John Avello.
So Avel will be the second segment?
Yes.
Real quick, before we go into the first break, Chelsea Handler, there was an article about how Jennifer Aniston, I guess who used to be her best friend, is staying clear of her because she's afraid it would... Jennifer Aniston thinks her friendship with Chelsea Handler might have cost her an Oscar nomination because her friends think she's losing her mind because she posts topless pictures of herself. And I got to say, I've never liked Chelsea Handler, but she's got nice tits. Do you think she's losing it? Is this an indication that she's going nuts?
I think
Joe, your thoughts?
I don't know. Comedians do fucking weird shit to get fucking. They do shit like that to get fame. Here's my tits.
See, that's the thing. She wants to be more than a comedian. Chelsea Handler wants to be that A-list, I'm invited to Jen Aniston's barbecue, that type of thing.
All right. Well, she better act in something.
That's what I mean.
What is she
Everything
gonna
she's
do?
been in is horrible.
Oh, that sitcom was so fucking bad.
That was terrible, and she's been in a couple of movies. Well, her other friend is Reese Witherspoon, so I guess maybe Reese Witherspoon's, mad too.
I want to. This is how crazy Chelsea Handler is. Who would do a sitcom that's about your life and someone else is playing you and you're playing someone else who's not you?
She claims she had no time, but you're right.
That's
she's
stupid.
But
Then
she's
don't
playing
do it.
She's playing a recurring character. Or supporting character. I guess because it takes less time. It's proof that she mailed it in, and it was based on the fact that her stupid books are such hits, Because it was based on the book.
It was based, but I got no problem with that. But I mean, if you're not going to do a sitcom not about you, if you're not going to play you, you have someone else play you, and you're going to play somebody else, that's confusing.
It was based on her book, Are You There, Talent? It's Me, Chelsea. We've never met. Now, okay, Christopher Cotton, your thoughts? Do you think she's losing it? Do you think this is? I mean, for comedians, it's not bad behavior. But if you want to be in that A-list world where everyone's so fucking uptight, like Jen Aniston, take the stick out of your perfect ass, they get upset. Your thoughts?
Let's be honest here. Every comedian loses it at least 5 times in their life. You gotta fucking lose it. That's the only way you can keep telling jokes. So yeah, she's losing it. She's fucking wrong. But that's fucking wrong to Jennifer Aniston's. If you're supposed to be her friend, you don't fucking leave.
They're not when you need friends.
That's when you need
they're
people.
Not
that's when when you lose it. That's how you fucking. Your friend nurse you back to health, and then you fucking
show business shuns you. You get shunned.
Do you think Jennifer Aniston's normal?
No, she's lost it like 9 times.
She's crazy too.
She can't keep a dude.
All nuts.
Something's wrong with that puss.
Yeah, like I can never shun anyone. I would never shun anyone in this room. And every day, my advisors, Timmy tells me to drop Dan every day. Yo, bro, Dan's really holding you back. Not for nothing. But no, Dan, what about you, Mr. Angry? About what do you think Chelsea Handler's losing it?
Yes.
I love his yes.
Yes, I believe so. What about you, Flippy Flippin'?
No, I think she's just branding herself. She likes
branding
being
herself as what?
Nice tits.
Weird and just out there and not afraid of what people think and totally willing to be something crazy.
Are they fake tits?
They look like good tits.
They look.
Probably.
First of all, what is she?
She made an investment. She's got to show them off.
How old?
She's way younger than us, believe it or not. She's about 37.
That's what I heard, and she looks. I guess she's not bullshitting about the vodka.
Yeah,
she's got no kids.
Yeah,
and she's Jewish. They
she's
always
39.
have great tits. Jewish
she's
girls have great
from
tits.
Livingston, New Jersey.
It's a fact.
I know.
39.
She stretched them out. I'm telling you, she's doing like a thing where she's stretching them out a little bit. That always helps. But
I do.
And didn't she live with the guy that gave her the TV show?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
she lived with the head of E.
That's a smart move.
The president of E. And I'm not saying she's a whore, but if you're going to be a whore, be a smart whore. You have to. It's Ted Harbert is the guy's name. Ted Harbert is the head of E, and they were an item for a while. And I'm not saying anything like she was a whore or anything, but if you're going to be a whore, you got to be a smart whore. You got to fuck the right guy.
Strategic hole giving.
And you don't fuck, the producer of your show. You don't fuck the head of the network. That's who you fuck. Mm-hmm. That's what Mary Tyler Moore did too. Again, I'm not calling anyone a whore, but Mary Tyler Moore happened to sleep with the president of NBC.
So Tan Filato, you're reaching for the wrong person here. I'm telling you that right now.
You're trying to fuck me.
I don't know if you have a sec. This might be kind of a long story, but something dumb I did with Chelsea.
No, tell it. Go ahead.
When I was on the Chelsea show.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're good friends with her.
No, I'm not. No, I was a regular for a year and a half, but she doesn't like me anymore.
Why?
What happened?
And I always thought
Is it because of me?
Well,
kept texting her?
No, I'll tell you. I always thought this had something to do with it. I had a guy named. Geez, that's probably how I'm terrible. I'm not
his name.
Not gonna
What do you mean a guy?
Chris Frangiola. That's his name. He's one of the writers and a stand-up comic on the show. Had him on my podcast, and out of nowhere on my podcast, he goes, "Did you ever get that Xbox from last year's Christmas party?"
Right.
I go, "What are you talking about?"
He says this to you.
Yeah, he says
right.
to me, I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Chelsea gave everybody Xboxes that was on the show." And I remember seeing one with your name on it at the party.
Right.
And I go, "I didn't go to the party because I live in New York."
Uh-huh.
And I go, "I never got that." He goes, "Dude, I'm going to get that for you. I'm going to get you the Xbox." I go, "Oh, thanks."
Nice move.
Never got it.
Right.
So then the following Christmas is coming up. So I contact the booker because I was kind of friendly with him. I go, "Can you do me a favor? I was told that last year I didn't get my Christmas gift and it was an Xbox, which would be really cool. My kids would have loved that. Didn't get it. So this year, if there's gifts for the comedians that are on the show, could you send me it?" He goes, "Yeah, sure." So then I got the gift, which was very generous. She gave everybody these iPad minis. iPad mini.
Yeah.
Got an iPad mini, and then about a month later, I was just never on the show ever again.
So what's your theory?
That it looked weird.
What did you do wrong?
I thought maybe it looked weird to go, "Could you give me the gift?" I don't know, that I should have just...
Did you do it publicly? How did you ask for
No,
the
I just I emailed the guy.
You called Tony Franciosa?
called the guy who booked comedians.
Oh, the booker you called.
The booker.
Not Chris Frangioli.
No, I didn't call him.
Did Chris ever say and confirm he got it for you?
No, he never got. This was the following year. New reset.
okay.
He wasn't able to get the year before's gift that I never got.
Oh, he couldn't get it.
Couldn't find. Well, he never contacted me, and I just.
So you call the booker.
This is it. My dumb old manager. I have an old manager that thinks he's a comedian, and he would tweet funny stuff, sometimes shitting on things. He thought it was funny.
In your name?
Yeah, he tweeted.
Oh,
He goes. Where's
That's a nightmare.
Where's Joe Matarice's Xbox? He tweeted that, and I was like, why did you do that? Let me
Maybe
be the funny one.
that might have
That
something
makes
to do
sense.
with it. That might have
I
something.
don't think it's right.
He was
that
trying to be
your ex-
funny, and I'm like, you shouldn't have done
that
that.
was a joke? Where's Joe Matarice's Xbox?
Yeah, like I listened to the podcast. Where is
fucking
it?
Xbox, bitch?
First of all, it's an inside joke that you have to explain a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to be a little showbiz savvy. It doesn't make any sense. Manager, look, the biggest nightmare I could imagine is a manager thinks he's funny tweeting jokes in your name.
I
can't.
It wasn't in my name. It was as him, but he was connecting the joke
Connecting
to me.
you
Yeah,
to it,
Shouldn't
yeah.
have done it.
Or it could have been like the booker complaining that some guy's texting too much, the host of the show.
Well, I used to say to him sarcastically, I go, you know what's a really good tweet for a manager to do? Is my comedian's really funny. Go see him. That's all you need to write. I go, don't write a fucking joke about a fucking gift from a major television show that I was doing.
My ex-manager, it was his birthday, and I happened to be living in L.A., Principato. I was living in L.A. at the time at the Bellage Hotel. I lived there for like 6 months because I had a deal, and I was doing stand-up on the road on the West Coast, and I was writing my sitcom, my pilot. And I lived in a hotel for 6 months, and it was in West Hollywood. And if you know the old Bellage, it's something different now, but it had a great rooftop pool where you could get full room service on the pool. At the pool on the rooftop. It was a great place to invite pussy, really good, like a closer, because it had a beautiful view of the whole city and the Sunset Strip.
Could you see the smog perfectly?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I would invite broads over there. I'd have parties. There was a jacuzzi and shit.
Nice.
The jacuzzi looked like egg drop soup after a while. Peter says it's his birthday, and I don't know. It was his birthday. I'm straight. I don't follow birthdays for guys, but he's my manager. And he goes, "That's my birthday. I don't know if you know that." And I go, "Pete, I'm sorry. I'll buy you a cheeseburger. Come on, let's go to the roof." So we go to the rooftop. I buy him a cheeseburger and fries, which me and him devoured in 3 seconds. And this gets managers mad when you bring shit up like this sarcastically. He said, "Thanks for my big birthday gift, a cheeseburger," sarcastically. And I said, "Oh, wait, Pete." It got me so furious. Oh, no. I said, "Pete, I didn't tell you about the other part of your gift." He goes, "No." I go, "That's the $250,000 I'm going to give you this year for making plane reservations." And he pouted. He goes, I go, "Is something wrong with you?" Later on, he goes, "I can't believe you would jest like that. I can't believe you'd make a joke like that." You know what? I've been good all week. I'm going to go ahead and do it.
I was going to ask you to do it.
I've been good all week. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to get the pancakes.
I love that. That's one of my
So I
favorite
broke
things
the
ever.
ice at a breakfast meeting with another gay guy. Not that he's gay, but I'm saying a guy, a feminine guy. From NBC, there was awkward silence, and Pete, who was 400 pounds at the time, this is how he broke the silence. I've been good all week. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to get the pancakes. We're going to take a break.
Crazy. I got you.
Okay. Good first segment. I'm glad we got the air freshened here. And everything's fine. We're just going to move along. The Levy, the Levy war. That's going to be great. Tim doesn't listen to the show, so it doesn't matter. But Levy will hear this, and we will have a full war. So get ready for the podcast wars. And Dan has laid down the gauntlet. We'll see what happens when we come back in the next segment. Dan Hampton. And some other of Filato's neighbors in Chicago might call in. No, Dan Hampton, Hall of Famer, was on the 85 Bears, going to call in and talk Super Bowl. And then later on, the third segment, John Novella will call in and talk about betting on the Super Bowl. We got a great show coming up. Back after this.
Hey, Artie, this is Dan. I'm going to be late for the podcast taping today because I'm down at lunch getting fucked in the... I'm getting some soap, so I might be a little bit late.
welcome back to the Artie Lang Uncensored / Artie Quitter podcast. Real excited to have this next guy on. This guy was on the 85 Bears de Bears. A great player. Old number 99. He's going to talk football, going to talk about all the bullshit going around this game, and hopefully about the actual game. The great Dan Hampton. Dan, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be with you, and, you know, it is kind of funny. It's, you know, you'd think after a while the machinations of life would kind of play themselves out, but here with this idiotic deflate gate and all this crap, you know, it reminds me of the Super Bowl I was in. You know, we had McMahon showing his ass to everybody, talking about getting the acupuncture, and it never ends. It just never ends. It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy every year.
Well, you were one of the smart guys. You did not take part in the Super Bowl Shuffle video. And how smart are you? Yeah, how smart are you looking?
He skipped it.
How smart are you looking right now? Because you don't have to look at that awful tape.
Oh, that was great.
I mean, Dan, even the black guys look bad in that. Why did you make that decision? Why were you smart enough to have that vision not to be in that video?
I watched them. Hey, I'm not going to be a part of this crap.
Good for you.
You know, if you go back and today, it's painful when you look at Gary Fensick and Steve Fuller try to dance. It's just it'll bring you to tears. But you know, guys, you know, ultimately, you know, it was a bizarre season. We had all kinds of issues back and forth through the year, blah blah blah. And then when Willie Gault came to me with the concept of doing the tape, you know, the Super Bowl Shuffle and the album and video and all that, he said, "You got to be in it. You're the only guy on the team that can play an instrument." And I said, "There's no way I'm doing it."
Yeah, well, you were musical. I guess you figured it out. I mean, well, that brings me to, you know, talk about all the crap surrounding the game. Deflategate. How do you first of all, do you think they're ever going to come clean and say, look, it wasn't just this poor kid we have on tape, we told him to do it? Do you think there's any way they didn't tell him to do it, and how will it affect the legacy of the Patriots?
Well, you know, the people that don't like the Patriots are forever and a day are going to say they were complicit.
Right.
The people that love the Patriots are going to say, wait a minute, it could have happened to anybody. It's like the used condom in the trash can after mommy and daddy get home. How did they get there? We don't know. How did this happen? I'm just telling you. You know, look, Belichick is a pretty smart guy, and when he came out a week ago Monday and says, "I have no earthly idea what you're talking about," you know, and I know they're not going to be able to connect it. But you know, I don't. Here's my deal. I don't see the problem. You know, the ball's 2 pounds lighter. Big deal. If he can throw it better, don't we want a baseball player that can hit the ball better? Don't we want a basketball guard that can shoot at a higher? I'm just saying, doesn't matter to me. And I was on the other side of the ball.
I agree with you.
Throw it better. Yeah, if it's flat and you can throw it better, more power to you. We're still going to sack your ass. So,
I agree with
that's
you.
the way I look at it.
I agree with you, Dan. But here's the thing. It is a rule, though. It's a rule that it might be a stupid rule, and I agree with you that it is. It shouldn't matter. But it's a rule that they broke, and they have a history of breaking the rules. If they win this game, will it affect their legacy at all? I say no.
You know, there's explicit, implicit rules, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know, when I played, I was cutting sleeves off, sewing up my jersey, getting tighter, putting Vaseline on. Was that legal? Or was I just trying to find an edge? Okay, I'm just saying, forever and a day, Deflategate, you'll know exactly what, you know, the spying crap with Belichick back in, I think it was 2006. It's going to be tied to him. But the other thing that's going to be tied to them is the fact they've been in a hell of a lot of Super Bowls and they're doing a lot of things right.
Six of them, yeah.
You know, yeah, they're doing it. Hey, a flat ball didn't get them to, what is this, Brady's 6th Super Bowl or something?
Right. I mean, yeah. You guys were so dominant that year. People forget that you actually did play the Patriots. You played a very different Patriot team. You won 46-10 in even the 55-10 Denver Niners Bowl in '89. Even that wasn't as dominating as one team over the other. You guys just made them disappear. The Tony Eason Patriots.
Was that Steve Grogan?
Yeah.
On the Patriots?
No, that was Tony Easton.
Tony Easton?
Yeah, well, Tony Easton started the game. He didn't finish it. Grogan did.
Oh, okay.
And ultimately, that was almost a fait accompli. We had played them in October, I think, and we were just a team it was hard for people to match up with. The only team that could really probably take us to task would have been the Miami Dolphins, and they lost to the New England Patriots in the championship game that year. So even though we won in Miami, we still had to go out there and chop the turkey's head off. It's Thanksgiving, you got to do it. We went out there and did it, but the thing that really pissed us off, guys, is we had shut out the Giants, we'd shut out the Rams. We wanted a shutout, and second play of the game, McMahon botches the handoff, and we fumbled. Our offense fumbles, and now they're on our 20 or something going in, and we didn't allow any yardage in 3 plays, but they kicked the field goal and ruined our scoreless streak. So, that really pissed us off at that time. But I'm just saying,
right?
Hey, everybody knew that was just a brutal mismatch. This year's Super Bowl, I got to tell you, it's been fun. The line opened at even. Then it went New England a point. Then it went back to even. Then it went Seattle a point. Today, I look and it's New England a point. So nobody has a real good feel about who's going to be the dominant team in this game this weekend.
Yeah, nobody does. I agree. I mean, essentially, it is a pick'em. I agree. It sounds like you were a little aggravated at Jim McMahon and his antics. Was he an annoying son of a bitch?
Guys, here's maddening. And, here's the deal now, 20 years later, and your dear friend Dan Filato knows this. Here's the deal. We were all in it to win it together in '85. But McMahon, who played sparingly throughout his career, couldn't stay healthy. And a lot of that was a byproduct of the fact that you got to train year-round. You got to stay fit. You got to be, and obviously, for whatever reason, he didn't feel compelled to do it. Now, when you are a football team, your quarterback is the most important position of all. And just imagine where the New England Patriots would be if Tom Brady wasn't, healthy this year.
Right.
Where would Seattle be without Russell? Name them. Name every team and say, okay, can you win without your quarterback? And the answer is no. And unfortunately, McMahon was only, healthy a handful of games throughout his career. And after '86 and '87, it was intolerable. And so over the years, we speak. But when he left, I was glad because it's a team, and everybody has to pull on the rope. Nobody can ride in the wagon.
Interesting.
And McMahon, he wanted to have his booze in the wagon and let us pull him around, and it was intolerable. And Mike Ditka is as open-minded as he is, and he was he was kind of a party guy too when he played and all that, but he still you cannot run an NFL franchise with a quarterback that you cannot depend on. It's just impossible.
Who do you think Mike Ditka hated worse, hippies or gays?
Mike McKeskey.
Good answer. Hey, if you were giving out a douchebag of the year award, Marshawn Lynch or Jim McMahon, who gets it?
Which year are we talking about?
Well, that's my crazy way of asking the Marshawn Lynch situation. Him not talking to the press. What does that evoke? Anger? Do you understand his issues, or is he faking? What do you think of when you think of Marshawn Lynch in this situation?
He is the juice of that team. He makes them go, and he separates them from a good team to a great team. And when he when he goes into those crazy beast mode runs, I mean, it just changes everything.
He's a great player.
Yeah, he's that good a player. But the rest of the guys around him, and by the way, Pete Carroll was in Arkansas with me back in the day, and so I know Pete, and I think the world of him, and I think you got to applaud the fact that, what has it been, 8 years since a team in the Super Bowl even won a game in the playoffs? Now he's got them back in it. I mean, he's done a magnificent job. But even I'm sure Pete Carroll is wearing thin with his patience. But see, here's the deal. Marshawn thinks that he's been wrong. He was fined for different things over the course of the last 3-4 years. And you know what? He's got a grudge, and he's not going to give in. And you know what? He's not going to give you the pound of flesh. He's not going to give you the satisfaction of complying. And so it's all just a big, stumble bum act where he's basically thinking to himself, I'm getting over on the press. I'm winning this deal when 10 years from now, he's going to be looked at like Ickey Woods. Here's a guy that had a chance to be something really amazing, but he blew it because he had these contrivances that he felt like he had a vendetta to try to go after, and it's ultimately going to blow up in his face. But I got to tell you, he's one hell of a player. Love to play with him.
Absolutely, I agree with you completely. A little birdie whose name rhymes with Schmalato told me you hate the San Francisco 49ers.
You motherfucker.
Our friend Chris Cotton's a big fan.
I'm a huge fucking
Do you hate San Fran, and why do you hate San Fran? Because they're filthy cheaters, right?
Jesus, whoa. There's no need for that name calling.
At the root of it all, it's jealousy, it's hate.
Hold on. Focus on what did you say first? What did you say first?
Jealousy and hate.
Jealousy.
They had a guy named Joe Montana. If you was to take Joe Montana, put him on our team of the 80s, and you send McFool to the 49ers, let me tell you what would have happened. We switched quarterbacks. What do you think would have happened? That's why it was jealousy and hate.
I hear you. I hear you. Chris, your thoughts?
All I'm saying, you're making good points, and that's why we had Montana, and y'all had his, and fucking Foles, whatever. Like, this is what I'm saying. We're a great franchise. I love the Niners. I grew up in I told him I'm a Steve Young fan. I'm a huge Steve Young fan because I'm a little younger than these old motherfuckers. So I love Steve Young, and that's just what it is. I love Montana was great, but I'm a Steve Young fan.
Dan, I don't know if you figured this out, but Chris is African American.
Does that offend you? That doesn't offend you. Dan, I sent all my questions through Artie because we didn't want to lose you early because I don't know.
He grew up in Philly. He's a big San Francisco fan. I think that's a cop-out.
Born and raised South Philly.
That's a cop-out. Who are the worst fans, Dan, you ever encountered? Because the Philadelphia Eagles fans can be terrible.
Well, yeah.
Who are the worst fans as far as being rude on the road?
You know what? The Packers don't take a back seat to anybody as far as being just rat bastards. Hey, any team that's good, it emboldens the crowd, except for Philadelphia. They pretty much sucked, but the fans thought they were good.
Listen, that's one thing. The one thing I got from being a Philadelphian is I love regardless, and I hate regardless, and that's one thing I love from being a Philadelphian. Yeah. And I always loved the Niners, even when we were shit and we were great. I love them.
What about Buddy Ryan? What do you think of him?
That's a good question.
Guys, you know what? Buddy is, I think, 83, 84. I call him on occasion once a month or a little more, less often, I guess. But the bottom line is, Buddy Ryan, there's never been an assistant coach / he was a head coach, two different places, but never before has an assistant coach made such a profound effect on the league and is still continuing to make an effect on the league today. And he's been out of the league now 10, 15, 20 years, and obviously a lot of it is his kids, but very seldom does a season go by that somebody doesn't call, and they want to do an expose, kind of like the nuts and bolts of what made the 46 kind of, flourish when we were able to, terrorize folks with it back in the 80s. And, it's a hell of a legacy. But more than that, Buddy was a fantastic human being, and it sounds like I'm almost talking like he's
dead.
But Buddy, bless his heart, he's in ill health, and I've got Gary Finsick and Doug Plank and I plan to go down and see him in about 10 days. So, I don't know if players ever thought about it, assistant coach like that, but to this day, we all thank the good Lord for the fact that we got a chance to play for Buddy Ryan because he was that special to us.
Did you ever actually hear Refrigerator Perry take a shit?
You know what? I kind of think he took care of that at home because it would have been too easy of a target for us because we were always looking for something to get on it.
Yeah, he took a shit.
Here's one. But here's one. So they put him on a diet like in 86, 87.
Yeah, good move.
Figure it out. Yeah, he's 350. How come he'd eat a salad? We're eating pizza or whatever. He's eating a salad. A guy at the grocery store, the Jewel by where I live, said, "Yeah, every night Fritz comes in and buys 4 rotisserie chickens and a case of beer, and he pulls around back and eats the 4 chickens and drinks the beer, and then goes home and eats the salad."
Who do you think eats more, Refrigerator Perry or Katy Perry before a game?
That'd be a toss-up. I'd hate to live on the difference, I'll tell you that.
Can you name one Katy Perry song?
Not one.
Of course, because you're a real man.
Fireworks is a great song.
Dan Filato thinks she's got the best song that's ever been fucking written. No. Dan, I don't know. Do you think Filato's a little flimsy?
There's a reason why he had to flee Chicago. Let's just leave it
Chicago's no man in Chicago knows a Katy Perry song. Thank you. Now, is it true that Walter Payton? I'm so mad that Walter Payton didn't get a chance to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Man, I loved Walter Payton. And is it true that Jim McMahon changed a play that Ditka sent in, and that's why he didn't score a touchdown?
I think, obviously, if it was an audible, then, the quarterback has the prerogative to do that. I just tell you this, Walter carried the ball 19 times, and every time he moved, 3 Patriots are trying to hit him.
Right.
And it was pretty, just like Belichick's going to take Marshawn out of the equation. So if Seattle wants to beat New England, it's going to be somebody else that has to do it. Well, same thing with our offense. Walter was the guts. They wanted to gut us, and so they took him out. And I told Walter after the game, I said, "Guy, hey, I didn't score a touchdown either. I'm not pissed off. Don't be. It bothered him, but you know what? It shouldn't have. Walter has all the pelts in the world on the wall. He didn't need a touchdown in the Super Bowl to prove anything. So
I know.
I kind of hate that. Everybody makes a big deal out of that, and I don't think it bothered him. I think it bothered him immediately after the game, but I think he got over it.
Listen, I agree with you. He doesn't need it. Class act. But, my God, I was a big Peyton fan. It would have been great from the 1-yard line, a couple different chances from the 1-yard line to see him do that classic leap over the line and score in the Super Bowl. That's what, it would have been better for me as a football fan, a football purist, to see that than Refrigerator Perry rolling it in and fulfilling a contract he had with Coca-Cola. By the way, Dan, your speech at the Peyton Manning Memorial was amazing. Great. Was he special to you?
I mean, the Walters Memorial. You know what? I played 9 years with him, and I don't know if anybody played longer. And yes, we weren't like I'd go over to his house all the time, friends. We were almost in it together in the sense that, when Jim Fink started building that team, and the consummation was to go and win a Super Bowl. And a lot of people think it was the greatest team of all time. John Madden has told me countless times. Well, Walter was kind of the guy they built the offense around, and they kind of built the defense around me, they say. And so we kind of had that unspoken bond. And Walter, and see, that's the other thing. When you contrast McMahon, who, would play 4 games a year, and Walter, who would not miss 4 plays a year, and the savage beating that he took. And,
right.
We'd see him in the ice tub with these huge whelps and contusions, but he never complained, and he always suited up and said, let's go again. That was the kind of guy he was. He was exemplary in all facets. And, I just kind of hate the fact that so many people didn't get to meet him and know him for what he is. And you know what? Today's players, shame on them. They should do some research and realize what it meant to be a bona fide superstar. It's not showing your ass at the Super Bowl press conference. It's not, screaming and challenging people and calling people names. It's going out and playing the game the way Walter Payton played it.
Now, listen, I agree with you, and you can't blame you or anybody. Yeah, don't beat yourself up about not going over to Walter's house. I mean, who wants to go to Cabrini Green and watch a game? Now, Jay Cutler, what are your thoughts on him? Do you think he plays the game like it should be played? I think he's a bit of a wuss.
I think he's a puss, too.
He ain't a wuss. Go back and put the game tape with 2009 New York Giants Monday Nighter against the Bears.
I remember it.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, it was criminal to ask him to get up and go back out there, and he not only did it, he played the entire game. There ain't nothing pussy about him. I'll tell you, his problem is he thinks he's too petulant. He thinks he can make any throw anytime. He's like, a young Greg Norman. I can hit anything I want. Well, he's too reckless, and with a mediocre team like Chicago has, his mistakes are only magnified. If they get better,
good point.
He can get away with a few mistakes.
Yeah. He
could become one of the elite quarterbacks. I think I would have gave anything to have him on our team. You give us Jay Cutler. Back in our day, not only do we win 5 Super Bowls in a row, we don't lose a game.
Wow.
Write that down.
That's a big statement, man. Absolutely. Okay.
I'm telling you.
I appreciate
If we had Jay Cutler, we don't lose a game.
I appreciate the honesty. That's a big. You don't lose a game. You were 15.
Don't lose a game.
You were 15-1 in '85. Did you lose to the Dolphins? It was the one loss to the Dolphins, right?
That was the one loss. We had a bad first half. One bad half. Jackson 5 had a song sort of like.
Joe Matarese, my co-host. Do you have any questions for the great Dan Hampton?
Well, it sounds like I'm a Philly fan that actually grew up in Philly that doesn't like the Niners.
That's right, weird.
And someone I wanted to compare yesterday, because we were talking about Richard Sherman and stuff like that, and guys that really, are a little loud with their presentation on the field. One of my favorite players of all time, and you probably played with him because you played at those times, was Philadelphia Eagles Walter Payton, Wilbert Montgomery. Did you play with Wilbert Montgomery at all? Did you get to know him?
I didn't get to know him. He was obviously, I think, a fullback, and I had to tackle him a number of times. He was a good player. The guy that was I thought was kind of like, out there was Andre Waters. He was a great safety. Buddy Ryan loved him, by the way.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he had Reggie for a long time and Jerome Brown. And, Buddy built a hell of a team there in the late 80s. So, yeah, you had not only characters, you had some great players as well.
Yeah, that's when I remember Philly having the great defense. And I had said early in this season when everybody was excited about Philly, I'm like, they don't have a defense. They don't have a shot. Those were the teams back then.
I'm gonna take it away from Joe and ask a relevant question. Chris, do you have a question? Go ahead.
Look at 80 Eagles. They were in the Super Bowl.
Dan, now, and this is always...
Bring up Bronco Nagurski.
I was going to know this because of our era, I feel like, one of the best backs, toughest backs that we have is Adrian Peterson. I know the kid hitting thing is one thing, but he's one of the toughest fucking backs. Do you think Adrian Peterson could have played back in your day and been a great running back?
Oh, sure, right?
I think so. I think he's fucking that tough. But
horrible question, right, Dan?
No question. Hey, let me tell you, Adrian, he can play any time.
All right, cool. I just want to hear it.
He was a faster, more elusive Jim Brown. I'm telling you, every time
more elusive,
comes down. Wow! Every time Jim Brown was just a hammer.
Yes.
He would knock the hell out. But Adrian, every time he shows up in Chicago, he runs over half our team. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He's a great player.
Terrible father. Let's move on.
Well, I don't know. Some people might say he's a great father.
I think he's
some people might say, listen,
I'm not one of them.
Your kid fucks up. Are you offended by that behavior?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we could see your kid runs rampant. Your kid does whatever he wants. Dan, give us a quick prediction on this game.
It's going to come down to, is Gronkowski able to force the Seahawks to double him? If they double him, they'll be able to run. If Seahawks have to double him, then the outside receivers will be able to be efficient. But if they can cover him, if they can cover Gronk with Cam Chancellor one-on-one, then the Patriots will struggle and probably the Seahawks will win. It's going to be that close. But if they have to double Gronkowski, then they can pound away. They can move the sticks. They will, Tom Brady's too good with single coverages outside to not be able to take advantage of it. So it's all about Gronkowski. And if you remember, he's been beat up for a number of years. This is the first time he's been healthy in a Super Bowl, for a long time. So he's going to be he's the number one issue. Who is going to be able to cover him? Is it Cam Chancellor? Are they going to have to box him with the linebacker? If they do, here we go. It's a Patriot game.
Do you think, and that's a serious question, with enough booze and enough painkillers, would you let Bruce Jenner blow you?
Well, I've had the booze in me a number of times, and I still didn't have the urge.
That's a similar question to the Katy Perry question. You answered both correctly. What do you think of when you see Bruce Jenner, a former decathlon champion, and possibly turning himself into a woman for a reality show on the E! Channel? I mean, how fast would you have taped him into a locker?
McMichael wants to date him. Let me tell you, that's how bad it is.
McMichael wants That is bad. That is bad. Do you think Kristen Cavallari is too much of a distraction for Cutler? Are you for these guys dating these famous women?
I don't think so. No. Hey, last time I checked, she wasn't the guy missing the goddamn read option and getting him hit in the face. He wasn't the receiver dropping balls and letting the Packers intercept it.
You're right.
So, I'm just saying, hey, Jim Cutler, a lot of this he brings on himself, but I got to tell you, and John Fox, the new coach, and Adam Gase, the new coordinator, trust me, they are behind the scenes rubbing their hands together saying, hey, all these other idiots didn't know what they had. If they can maximize his potential, hey, the Bears could be, not only for real, but real quick. They could hurt some people next year.
Well, you're not as angry, Adam, as your friend Dan Filato. God, watch a Chicago Bears game with Dan. Cutler takes a beating. This fucking asshole, fuck him. Go fuck someone else from Laguna Beach Hills or the Hills or something.
Well, Filato, no quarterback has ever measured up to Doug Flutie in his eyes.
He's eating a bowl of Flutie Flakes as we speak.
Yeah, Doug Fruity. Well, listen, Dan, you're a great guest, man. You're funny. You got a great sense of humor, which is missing. Something else is missing in today's game. No one has a sense of humor. But you're a great player, Hall of Famer. You're welcome here anytime. And do you think, you think the Pats win, or who wins?
Guys, I'm just saying, hey, there's a reason why the Pats are back, because, they do a lot of things the right way. And you know what Confucius used to say, a clenched fist holds no sand. I don't know how the Seahawks can continue to get up, game after game after game. They're going to, I think it's going to finally catch up to them. And I'm just saying the New England Patriots, in my mind, will be the winners.
Okay, there you go. I happen to agree with you. We'll get official with that afterwards. Dan, thanks so much, man.
All right, guys, thank you so much. And tell Danny I'll send my best on the side town.
You got it. Dan's a good man. Dan Hampton and Dan Filato, both good men. Listen, we'll hear from Tan Hampton, who likes to bet fucking get tanned. Tan Hampton, of course, another character we're looking forward to. Dan Hampton, what a great guest. What a great sense of humor.
Guy's hilarious.
He likes the Pats. When we come back from Vegas, once again, at the Wynn Sportsbook, John Avello, and we'll go around the table with our predictions and my lock of the week.
Lock of the week.
When we come back and talk to Avello, give predictions, and wrap this fucker up. This bet fucker up. Back with more podcast. ArtieQuitter.com. After this. Hey, it's the Artie Lang Uncensored Podcast. Could be officially the new name. Artie Quitter Podcast. Could be the old name. Anyway, you all go to ArtieQuitter.com is where you find everything. My next guest, again, one of my favorite guests ever, the great John Avello, for the second time in a couple weeks. He's doing the last interview we'll be doing with anybody before the Super Bowl. We'll be giving him our predictions. The three of us here, Chris Cotton and Joe Matarese, are... If Flippin' and Dan want to give theirs too, they're more than welcome to. But I got a couple of crazy picks and a couple of regular picks.
And don't forget the Artie Lang Lock of the Week.
That's right. I'm going to give the Lock of the Week. John Avello from the Wynn Sportsbook, Wins in Las Vegas. What's up, John?
Hey, guys. Doing good. Getting ready for a monster weekend here, and crowds starting to shuffle in a little bit. It was slow on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday you could feel it, and now today you can see it. Just snowballing to something huge.
I've been to Vegas on a big fight weekend, New Year's Eve, and Super Bowl weekend. What do you think's the biggest weekend in Vegas?
Well, remember that New Year's Eve packs the streets with about 500, 600,000 people.
Right.
So,
but you don't want the streets packed. You want the craps table.
I want the book packed.
You want the book packed.
Yeah, which this does a better job for me. Overall, that's New Year's Eve is probably the bigger weekend because of it fills all the amenities. I mean, the rooms, the restaurants, everything's packed. This weekend is also it's similar that all the restaurants will be packed, all the lounges will be packed. The difference is that everybody's inside and not outside. And then the last one you asked me about was it was New Year's. It was
a big fight
weekend.
Big fight weekend.
And that's also a really busy weekend too. But not this. That would probably be if we're talking about people, Artie, we're talking fights third.
Now, can you bet? It used to be that all the crazy prop bets were just Super Bowl. Can you bet like week 6 on a bunch of prop bets for every game?
We put up some. What we find is that when you have a full slate of games on a Sunday, the props take a back seat. Nobody really cares. There's just too many games. What they care about with props is when it's an isolated game. So when it's the Monday night game or the Sunday night game or the NFC, championship or even any type of playoffs, that's when you write more money on your props. When there's 16 games to choose from on a Sunday, the props really get overlooked. So
no big deal. Yeah,
you have to pick your spots with them.
Right. Do you take coin toss bets? Now, do you bet? You can't bet on heads or tails. You bet on which.
Hey, Artie, I got to rephrase it. As long as we're playing with my coin.
Right. Exactly. Well, listen. You don't bet. If I remember correctly, you don't bet heads or tails. You bet who wins the toss, which team. Correct?
No.
No, you bet heads
or tails.
Oh, you take it heads or tails. All right, I'm going to
Artie yelled at me for that.
No, well, a lot of bookies said they just took the team. Well, listen, I'm gonna use the wins system for all my bets, and I'm gonna go with heads. I'm gonna put 2 dimes, 2,000 on heads.
And you only got to lay a nickel
with my guy. And I only got to lay a nickel. No kidding.
Yeah. So I think that might be the best bet of the entire game.
No kidding.
Low juice. Pretty much a pick 'em.
Beautiful.
And that's it.
So
you're not.
If tails comes up, I lose 500, and if heads comes up, I win 2 G's.
Why are you only losing 500?
No, I thought you said lay a nickel. Well,
lay a nickel. So in other words, we're as the game you have to lay the 2,200. This you only have to lay 2,100.
Oh, right. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Right? Yeah. No. Okay. No. So it's I'm putting up $2,000.
Now, Artie, we have another prop where you might want to maybe possibly change your mind.
Go ahead.
It's which team runs the first play from the line of scrimmage. And I'll tell you why this is interesting.
All right.
Because if you win the coin toss, you can elect to either take the ball or defer it, correct?
Yep.
So now you have to go and handicap and see who likes to defer, who likes to get it. And so that's one portion of the handicap. Now here's the other part that it's totally out of your control. If your team elects to get the ball first, they might run the kickoff back for a touchdown, and you don't run the first play.
Well, of course, that's not the better odds, though, obviously. What do you – but, okay, have you done the research? Does one of these teams – like, say Seahawks get it. Do they traditionally like to defer or get the ball?
They normally like to defer.
Because of the defense, yeah.
They normally like to defer. Now,
but Brady and that offense
usually now that's why the Super Bowl is a totally different animal, because the coaches try to throw you off a little bit sometimes. The Patriots normally will take the ball first and get on the offensive side, but in this particular game, maybe Belichick would defer, just thinking that they think he's going to take it, and that Seattle really doesn't come out like gangbusters the first time they get the ball. So
All
There
right.
might be some strategy to this.
With my guy, I'm putting 2 dimes with my guy on heads, and I'll think about it because I do think it's interesting. You know, you got Brady in that offense, and even if you're Seattle in the defense, psychologically, I know it makes a lot of sense to say defer it. We're going to stop you, but they might say we want the ball. Give Russell Wilson the ball first.
They might. You're right. They very well might.
Very interesting. Okay, over. I got 48.5. What do you have there?
That's nowhere near that now.
What do you have?
It's 47.5.
Okay, so I'll drop the point. I still like the over, and I'm putting 5 dimes on the over.
Good. You're getting a better number.
47 and no. Well, if I go 40, I'm getting it. I got 48.5 with my guy. Yeah. So I got.
Well, you didn't make the bet yet, did you?
No.
Okay, good. You'll get a better number by now. It was 48.5 at the opening. It dropped to 48, and now it's 47.5, and it's trending that way. I mean, I could tell you that the sophisticated players like the under.
They do.
They do
because of now. What are they basing that on? Because of Seattle's defense? Because maybe the balls have the proper amount of air in them.
Well, Artie, I'll tell you what. Just look at some of the Patriots games. You know, if you go back, and I know in the playoffs there were some. You know, they scored a lot of points. But if you go back and look at the regular season, there was a lot of games, 21, 26, 23, 14, 17, 16, 19. I mean, there was just a lot of. They played a lot of low-scoring games. Now in the playoffs, of course, against Indianapolis, that was a runaway, and against Baltimore, there were quite a few points scored, but. They can play that type of game. I mean, they can play that type of game, a 20 to 23 type of game, if that's what it's going to take. You know that's what Seattle wants to play.
Right.
You know, that's the type of game they want to play. They don't want to play a 42-35 game. That's not their style.
Well, I'm going to say from 47 to 49, anywhere in there, I like the over. I really do. I think both offenses can have good games. I like heads in the coin toss. 2 dimes, 5 dimes on the over.
You don't consider that these are two great teams and playing in the Super Bowl are going to contain each other?
No, I'd say their offenses are going to play great. That's what I think. I think the Pats are ready to have a great offensive game, and I think they're out to show the world that they could do it no matter how much air is in the fucking balls. And I think Sherman, I don't think is 100%. I don't think we know the whole story there. I like Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch. I like offense here.
Okay.
I like the over, and I like heads in the coin toss. All right. I have a half a point. My guy has the Pats favored by half, and I like the Pats. What do you have?
We have the Pats 1.
Okay. I still like the Pats. What do you think there? I like the Pats, and I'm putting another 5 dimes on that.
Okay. Well, a half is kind of interesting. That means if it fell 1, you'd win. But usually bookmakers don't use halves for whole games. They usually use halves for first halves, second halves, that type of bet. Not normally for the whole game. You're usually a solid number. But I can understand where he's going with this. He doesn't want the game to fall 1, but either do I. So what he's doing is he's just putting up a half, and that way therefore there can't be a tie.
Right. Interesting. He just wants something there. It's like psychological. It's odd. But either way, I like the Pats. What do you think?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I like that answer.
I don't get emotionally involved in these games, and I'll tell you what that means. That means I don't try to pick a side or give sides out, because that affects me how I want to book the game. I want to book the game just as the money comes in, make the moves I need to make, and whatever happens, happens. If I start getting involved in the game and saying I like this side, now all of a sudden I may start thinking that way and start shading that way, and I don't want to do that.
So you don't have a favorite team?
Well, no, he does.
I'm a New York Giant fan my whole life.
Yeah,
but,
cool. But he runs the sports book.
Artie, did I tell you this? So Bud Black, you know who he is, right?
Yeah,
the manager.
Sure.
Yeah, he's the manager of the Padres. He asked me at Del Mar. He asked me, what am I a San Diego Padre fan? That's what he asked me. I told him I'm a fan of whoever the house needs tonight. I mean, it just,
right, of course, yeah.
I'm a Met fan too, but if I got a 50-dime decision and I need the other side, then I'd like to see the other side win. It's a long season. It's 160 games. It's okay if you lose that one.
You bet on the money, absolutely. You bet the money. So here we go. I got a 10-dime cushion going in. I got 5 dimes on the Pats. I got 5 dimes on the over, and I got 2 dimes, 12 grand already out in action on the coin toss being heads. This is going to be a lot of fun. By the way, for you fans, we will be doing at least part of the podcast. We'll be watching me go through this, listening to me go through this hell Sunday. I'm having my uncle's over. Dan will be here. You guys are invited. I'm going to get a bunch of food, and you're going to hear me. You're going to hear me. Hear me $2,000 win or lose on the coin toss. You're going to hear my reaction. So tell your friends. Artie, Monday's show, at least part of it, will hear my reaction.
And what is your best winning Super Bowl? I
won on the Giant. It's all proportions, but on the Giant 20-19 when they beat the Bills, I had about, again, it's all proportions.
That's when he missed Scott Norwood missed the field goal?
Yeah, the Norwood game. I had $1,000. I had $1,000 to my name, and I won 11 grand on that game.
Oh, that's a great.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
okay.
So that was nice, proportion wise. All right, so now let's get into who you guys like. Joe, what do you think? Under, over,
out
and
of
Pats?
These 3 bets?
Yeah.
I agree. I would go heads.
Forget the coin toss, whatever.
I don't know why I would go heads.
I'm just doing that for the action, the pure juice.
My only disagreement is I would go under.
You like the under?
I don't know why. I think these are going to be teams they play a little nervous
John
in
just
the
said
Super Bowls.
Big money's on the under, yeah.
Yeah, I think the under is the bet for me on that. And you're going Pats. I got swayed by our last interview with
Dan.
With Dan, I don't know why I got swayed. I was going Seattle. Now I feel all of a sudden I'm going Pats. I think I agree with you,
Chris. What do you think?
I'm taking the under. Also.
Okay. Smart. So John, would you say smart money's on the under then?
I would.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, they both are 2 great. Like defensively, it's going to be a battle. And
that's why I'm putting my stupid money right on that over.
I don't know. But you did make one good point with Richard Sherman being hurt. And you don't know how much he's hiding.
And I think Brady has so much to prove. I think Belichick and Brady have so much to fucking prove.
And
Plus,
Belichick is smart.
That 4th ring. Yeah. Do you think emotionally that means anything, John? That 4th ring puts him in Montana, Bradshaw land. It makes him 4-2 lifetime in the bowl. Do you think that emotion counts for anything? That's what I'm counting.
But
well, I think everybody, when they start sizing up who's the greatest at this and the greatest at that, they always look at championships. So championships are kind of the telltale on at least this goes, what people perceive. And so if Brady wins this, he'll probably be, one of, if not the greatest quarterback. He'll be right there with Joe.
Right.
If he loses this, then he's still going to be one of the top 5 of all time, but not praised as highly. Now, how about the kid? How about Wilson, who would have 2 wins in such a short career with many years to go?
I don't know how hungry Belichick is. Cheating kind of hungry, though.
Yeah.
But okay. So you like the under, Chris? In the game, what do you think?
And the game itself, I'm going to have to. I fucking hate saying it, I'm going to have to go with the Pats. But that's because I think Belichick is scheming something to shut down Lynch. Like that's what I think. Like he's such a fucking great head coach. I fucking do hate him, but he's a great head coach and he's smart. They're going to lock down Lynch. If they can stop Lynch, they.
You're saying they are. So you're putting more.
I believe.
You're thinking they're going to cover more on the defensive side.
That's what I'm saying. The defense is is the tell of the game.
Okay.
And I feel like Belichick is smart enough to shut down Lynch, so all the numbers are going to just drop across the board.
What's your prediction? Give me I just under over in the game.
I would go with the under, and I think that Seattle's got it, man. I mean, the Jets ran all over him with Chris Ivory. They made him look like an all-pro running back. They they don't have an answer for Marshawn Lynch. And then when you don't have an answer for the running game, the play action opens up, and I think that the Seahawks could win by a touchdown.
All right, now, okay, Filato, go ahead. Under, over, and the game.
The over and Seattle.
Okay, so no, I like I'm the only one who likes Pats and over. Flippin's directly opposite to me. And Joe, what did you say?
I said the under and the Pats.
All right, now this I like. I like this a lot. I'm gonna put a little money. I'm gonna put $1,500 on it going into overtime.
Really?
What are the odds? What are the odds you have there?
I think strong odds.
You're gonna get just short of 6-1 on that.
Okay,
that's a nice
bet.
And which is fairly decent bet. I mean, it's a pick'em game pretty much going in.
Right.
Most games fall any 3-point spreads. The games usually fall 1 out of 7. Usually fall on 3. Might not necessarily always the favorite. So if it's 1 out of 7, 3. It'll be pretty close to that for the overtime. So you're not getting the full odds, but you're not far. You're not full true odds, but you're not far from it.
All right, so I'm going to put $1,500 on it goes in overtime, around 6-1. Again, $2,000 on heads in the coin toss, 5 dimes on the Pats. Call it -1 or a pick 'em. 5 dimes on the over at about 48. Okay, here we go. What's the best odds, shortest odds I'm looking at for who scores the first touchdown? Is it Lynch? Is it Gronkowski? Is it Russell Wilson? Where am I getting the best odds?
Well, the worst odds, I guess, is
right,
what I want to say. The lowest odds.
Yeah,
so Lynch is the favorite to score the first touchdown at 6-1.
Okay.
And then after that, there's a bunch of guys in the 7-8 range. There's LeGarrette Blount.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Gronkowski, of course.
Gronk is at what?
Gronk is 7-1.
Okay, you know what? I'm putting 2 dimes on Gronkowski scoring the first touchdown. That's what I'm gonna do.
6-1.
I know my guy will have close to all these numbers. 2 dimes on Gronkowski.
What were the odds on that one?
7-1.
7-1.
So that's 14 G's if he scores. If he goes over the middle, that motherfucker.
That's fun.
2 dimes Gronkowski. And Blunt is what? 6-1?
No, he's also 7.
I'm gonna hedge it. I'm putting 2 dimes on Blunt. I'm gonna hedge it.
He's gonna hedge it.
2 dimes on Blunt.
I don't really. Well, hedging means, Artie, that New England scores.
No, wait, no, I'm sorry. No, Lynch is what I want to say. Lynch, what are the Lynch odds?
Oh, Lynch, okay, 6.
No, okay. I'm hedging it with 2 dimes on Lynch. That's what I'm doing. All right.
I like the hedge bet. It's a good one.
I want Marshawn Lynch at 2 dimes at 6-1. This is fucking great.
How happy he gets.
All right. Here we go. Which team will record the first sack? I guess I'm not, it doesn't thrill me. I don't care. Under, over, and field goals for the whole game. What do you got?
That's going to be 3.5 total field goals, but the under's the favorite. Okay, so the under's the favorite -1. I think we're at -140.
So they got to kick 4 to win the over.
Yep.
That's going to happen. I'm putting 3 dimes on that. I'm putting 3 dimes on the over.
I believe everything he says.
3 dimes on the over. 3.5.
I 100% agree with that. I said it's a defensive game. Defensive games always a lot of field goals.
Field goals. So 3 dimes over at 3.5. So far, 1,500 goes to overtime. $2,000 heads of the coin toss. 5 dimes on the Pats. 5 dimes on the over. 2 dimes on Gronkowski scoring first. 2 dimes on Lynch scoring first. Gronkowski 7-1. Lynch is.
We got to write all these bets and put them on a dry race board. So while you're going through your shit during the game,
3, 2, 7, 12, 17, 19. I got 20,500 out so far. All right,
Filato, will you have all these bets written down for us so we can during the game we can check them off?
Will there be at least one scoreless quarter?
Ooh.
You got to get good odds on that, right? Right, John?
I'm looking to see where that one is right now.
Do you have that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. The question is, where is it? It's here somewhere. Will there be at least one scoreless quarter? I think it's the no.
Right.
It's a slight favorite.
All right, you know what? Don't care about it. It's not floating my boat. I like this. I like
well,
this.
you know, Art, if you're going to bet Gronkowski to score the first touchdown, why don't you bet Gronkowski to score any touchdown?
Now, what is that?
You got to lay a little juice, but not much. You have to lay 7-5 that he will.
Okay, so it's not that. It's almost like even. You know what? I'll put. Yeah. So this way, nice. If Gronkowski scores the first touchdown, I put 3 dimes on that.
You get the daily double.
I win 17 G's. All right, I'm doing that. 3 dimes. 3 dimes on Gronkowski scoring any touchdown.
He looks so happy right now.
No, this is when it's fun. This is when it's great to be. This is why the terrorists hate us.
Any touchdown.
Your hat and your get up right now. You're like a school kid. He literally looks like a school kid.
Under over on touchdown passes Brady will throw.
Well, but you know it's only 1.5, but you got to lay some strong juice. So you have to lay. You have to lay 2 to win 1.
Okay, 2 to 1,
and that's with him throwing 2 or more.
Nah, you know what? Not interested. Not interested. All right, that's a good idea. Thank you. I'm not with that kind of juice. I'm not interested. I'd have to put down. I'd have to put down too much money to make it because I officially have just under 25 dimes on this game. All right, I'm gonna go with one more bet. What do I like? What do I fucking like here, you motherfucker?
What about that national anthem bet?
Don't like it.
We don't do that.
They don't do it anyway.
But but I know Artie likes that. He because of the longer notes.
Well, you see, John, you proved the other day on these airwaves. You proved why you're so good at your job. You told me what to research exactly, and you know what? You talked me out of it. I just don't care.
Well, the one that I saw was that she messes up a word.
Plus, I can't find a bookie to find. I can't. You know what? Also, John, I looked. I can't find a book who takes it.
How about the Bill Belichick hoodie type? I love that.
You don't take that either. No,
does it do the weird?
Legit? No.
How about the viewers?
Wait, no, he doesn't bet. It's one of the days you were snowed in or someone had the sniffles.
Yeah.
He doesn't take bets that someone has control over.
Could he have control over the views that the Super Bowl
They can
gets?
announce the wrong name. I mean, they can
the views.
What?
The overall viewers that watch the Super Bowl. The over/under I have is
you don't take that, do you?
Million.
Do you take that? No.
You can't make a lie about the number.
I don't care about that. Yeah.
It has to be played out. We all have to see it at the same time.
Yeah.
How about this?
And no one can.
Well, you give the rules.
Fix it or predetermine what's going to happen.
So the rules are. Everyone has to see the results at the same time.
Yeah.
How about what will Russell Wilson do first? Throw a touchdown or an interception?
That we have.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That one we definitely have.
What?
To throw a touchdown is the favorite, and
I agree with that.
What am I giving up?
About 70 cents.
All right.
It is minus 80. So he'll throw. So you have to put up 9 to win 5. That the touchdowns first.
What's Gronkowski's number? What's his jersey number? Do you take that? Will the first player to score have a jersey number higher?
I got one for you. The average jersey number of all the players that score in a game.
Oh my God!
What is that?
That is weird.
43 and a half.
That's too weird.
Okay, I like that. That's going to be my bet. That's going to be my last bet. I like that.
All right, so you got Marshawn.
You can throw that at all.
He's
This guy's
24.
Wait. Lynch is what number is Lynch? 24.
24.
All right. Gronkowski's
Russell
what?
is 3.
Russell's 3.
He might get one. You got LeBlanc Garrett's 29.
Boy, here's the thing. Russell Wilson really brings the average down.
I know, he fucks.
Gronkowski's 87. If he only gets one,
Gronkowski is good.
If he gets none, then
Okay, at 87, 43 and a half, you have Gronkowski gets 1. That helps you a lot.
Blunt. Honestly, that's hard to say his name.
Artie likes math in his bets. I'm realizing. Well, I like this. I need a calculator.
Yeah, I do. I do enjoy that. I do enjoy
Amendola is 80 and Brandon LaFell is 19. So the question is, who is the game's projected to have about 5 touchdowns,
Right.
5 total, both teams. So you have to figure out who you believe is going to score. You have to believe if there's 5, Marshawn Lynch has 1 and Gronkowski has 1. You have to believe those 2 have 1 if there's 5.
If you took the over in the game, see, this is how I play roulette. If you took the over in the game, you should take the under with the numbers, with the jersey numbers, or so that way to balance it out. I don't know, to balance out the bets. I feel like that's
well, no, that's got nothing to do with it.
I know, but if you took the over in the game,
what does it got nothing to do with
because if you took the over in the game, say if they go under, say if you take the under, the average of the jersey numbers will be lower. So you figure if they take the under,
that's got nothing to do with it.
But he said how many players
you're
score.
averaging it out no matter what. It doesn't matter how many people score. It's the average.
It's the average of the jersey numbers. So if it's a lower scoring game, the jersey numbers will be a fewer amount of jersey numbers. So the number.
How does that affect the average of it? We're talking about the average. We're not talking about the total.
Oh shit! Yeah, you said the average. Shit, I'm thinking.
John, did you?
You're right. You're right.
You just said?
No. You're right. No.
Yeah,
I like the rushing.
Gronkowski, say there's only 3 touchdowns in the game.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
And Gronkowski has 2 of them, and he's 87. So it doesn't matter who scores.
80 it could be Russell Wilson and Gronkowski scoring the only 2. 87 and 3 is 2 goes into 90 45 times. I win.
I about to say if you was doing I thought you were doing.
That's
total
over. The average is over.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I like 43 and a half. I like it, and I'm gonna put 3 more dimes on that. 3 more dimes.
that is a fun bet. I ain't gonna lie. I'm even excited. Like,
Artie makes it sound like it is only 3 dimes. It's like 30 cents.
That's why I
put 20 cents on this.
3 dimes over jersey number average. I love that. I fucking love that.
That's actually a fun bet.
I like the rushing yard bets where you can. I have the Marshawn Lynch at 92 and a half.
That's interesting. What do you have at Lynch? Lynch under over.
Marshawn Lynch is 87 and a half.
That's way different than Joe.
I got 92.
You're different by 5 yards.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my Google was from a week ago.
Yeah, he's got a differential of 5 yards there. Do we like Marshawn Lynch getting over 92 yards? Because I might throw a dime on that.
I think he's going to go under it. I don't know why.
See, but I think here's the thing. I'm betting against myself. If Lynch, basically we're saying, is he going to get 100 yards?
Yeah.
Lynch rushed for 100 yards. I think the Pats lose the game.
Yeah, they win
it doesn't.
That's why
then you bet on the other running back.
Blunt. What's Blunt's under over?
But I wouldn't bet on Blunt.
I have it here somewhere.
What's the under over you have on Blunt's rushing, John?
Blunt's rushing, he is at 60. I think we have him at Blunt. He is at
60.
60. Here it is right here. 63 and a half.
I'm putting 2 dimes on that.
over.
I'm putting 2,000 on Blunt over 63.
That sounds good.
Hey, Artie,
That sounds easy, but
question. Do you know how many yards that Marshawn Lynch had in last year's Super Bowl?
No, I don't.
Take a guess.
Marshawn Lynch
140.
And they were winning this game convincingly the whole game.
I remember
right?
I bet it was like 50 yards.
It was like I was about to say 49. I was going.
How much? I say 50.
How about this, guys? 39.
Oh,
I knew it was something 9. I remember 11. The number because they fucking.
You were only up by 10.
Yeah.
And what was the final score of that game?
It was like 43
they got
8
destroyed.
or something.
They were just
literally 43 to 8.
They didn't need them.
There was a safety. There was a safety.
I think this is a running game. This Super Bowl is going to have a lot of running.
All right, 63 and a half. They need to establish the run, Brady, with Blunt.
They need to.
And he's their guy, 63 and a half. Oh, under over yards. I love it.
That's a good bet. I wouldn't bet on Marshawn.
I love it. You know what, John? Thank you so much, man. You just made it a very exciting Sunday, my brother.
Changed Artie's whole mood.
It was a fun segment for me. I got to go home and go get some rest now.
Filato with a dry race board.
Johnny boy, I wish you a lot of success. A lot of success and health this weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I love that.
Oh, they're good bets.
All right, so here's what I got, guys. And listen, you will hear me react to this on Monday's show. We're gonna tape at least part, maybe all of Monday's show will be me with my uncles, whoever stops by. A lot of Italian food watching this game. You're gonna hear an immediate reaction. I got 2,000 on heads in the coin.
In words everywhere.
All right, yeah. if the ref who flips the coin is black and it comes up tails, it might get offense. I have a total of 3 and 3 is 6, 9, 11, 13, 18, 23, 25, 26, 5. I have $27,500 on the game.
Is that a lot for you on a Super Bowl?
I've had way more.
Way more. Okay, so this is conservative for you.
But listen,
this is only this bookie.
My life right now is not as cash friendly as it was. Yeah, so let's give out so everybody all the fans can root along with us. Joe, your picks again. Again, in the major guys, I have 2,000. I have 2 dimes on the coin toss being heads. I have 5 dimes on the Pats at -0.5 or 1. 5 dimes on the under-over being 48 and a hook. 2 dimes on Gronkowski.
But you bet over, right?
Right.
You went over. 2
dimes on Gronkowski being the first to score. I got 7-1 there. 2 dimes, I hedged it with Lynch at 6-1 being the first to score. 3 dimes on the over, 3.5 field goals for the game. They got to score 4 field goals. 3 dimes on Gronkowski scoring any touchdown. 3 dimes on the average jersey number of guys who score being over 27.5.
That's a fun
That's
bet.
confusing.
And,
27, what was the number?
27.5.
27.5. In other words, again, the easy way is if Gronkowski scores 1, it's 87 is his number.
Yeah.
Wilson scores 1, it's 83. 2 guys scored and their total's 90. That's 45 is the average. And I win because the under-over is 43.5.
That's a fun bet on the average. If it was total,
It's a fucking blast. All right, so you guys can replay that to hear my bets and bet along with me, and you'll have my reaction on Monday's show. I'll be doing it live Sunday just for us. So you won't hear
You're
it
so
Sunday.
excited your voice went out.
You'll hear it Monday. I love this. I love this shit. I really do get the shakes.
Pretty sure he has a boner right now.
Fans, here's
I
Joe
see why
Matarese.
Artie had a sitcom deal where it dealt with gambling.
Joe
right?
Matarese, go ahead.
Joe Matarese. Hi.
No, not your plug.
Oh, not my plug.
Not yet.
Oh, you want my picks?
Yeah. So the fans can hear it one more time.
God, you were so convincing on every one of them.
No, just give me the game and the under-over.
Oh, those 3. I picked the Pats, and I'm picking the under.
Okay. Chris, what do you got?
Pats over.
Pats and over. Flip.
Seahawks and under.
Seahawks and under. Direct opposite of me. And Pats.
No, I said Pats under. I apologize. I said over. I meant under. Pats under.
Pats under.
Yeah,
is
Pats
Chris.
under.
And Filato.
Seattle over.
Seattle over. Okay. There you go, guys. This was a fun fucking show. Again, we will do maybe the whole Monday show, at least part of it, from my apartment on Sunday, me reacting to all this. We may get 2 shows out of it. We're just going to fire up the mics. And my uncle's bringing a lot of Gindaloon food. So a lot of peppers, a lot of sauces, a lot of chicken. A lot of chicken stuff. Maybe galamad stuff with breading. And
Galamad.
Stuffed, how about stuffed galamad with prosciutto and breading in it?
The other half of this podcast, y'all teach me what the fuck I'm eating.
How about, stuffed peppers?
And we're really invited.
Of course, if you want to come, sure. Stuffed peppers. Flip it if you want to come by. All right,
Flip is already here.
We're gonna fire. We're gonna fire it up. We're gonna fire it up, man. Okay, give your plug, guys, and we'll wrap this fucker up.
Follow me on Twitter. It's Joe Matarese here at the Joe Matarese. Go check out the Fixing Joe podcast. It's already up on Artie's Twitter feed right now. The Fixing Joe podcast just went up this morning. And everything else I got is on joematarese.com. All my live shows and all that stuff in New York City the next 2 weekends. If you're in that area, go check out joematarese.com and see where I'll be.
Flippin' doesn't have any. Is there anything you do want to plug, Flip? You got a Twitter? What's your Twitter?
James_Flippin.
Okay. And go ahead, Chris. Give you a plug.
On Twitter, at Cotton215, Instagram, all that stuff. CenterCityComedy.com, Center City Comedy Podcast, soon to be on the Artie Quitter Network also.
We'll see what happens. A lot of legal issues.
But I think that's it.
All right. And again, ArtieQuitter.com. Tell your friends. That's how you sign up for the Artie Lang Uncensored Artie Quitter podcast, ArtieQuitter.com. Valentine's Day, a couple tickets left. I noticed on Twitter a lot of very romantic men have gotten this for their Valentine's Day gift. I will be at the Borgata in Atlantic City on Valentine's Day and then Cobb's in San Francisco the next weekend. March 20th, Mahaffey Theater. Me, Jimmy Norton, and Bobby Kelly. March 20th, Mahaffey Theater outside of Tampa, St. Petersburg for Mike Colta and the gang. And fun times, all right? Another fun week. The first month is in the books of the Artie Quitter podcast. We love you all. And listen Monday for my reactions to winning or losing. A lot of scratch. Take care, brush your hair. Easy there, Dan Filano.
Crazy.
Easy there, Dan Filano. I'm not butt fucking as much these days. Fig. I'm a fat fig.